Oof.
Yeah, they can't
Probably
hear us.
Yeah, no, I know. I feel like Hero forgot to I feel like they forgot to unmute desktop audio. Uh-oh. It's alright,
Well,
it's alright.
Since we appear to have audio now, welcome everyone to Swim or Sink 18. I'm Shad, joined by Frosty.
Hi, I'm Frosty, joined by Shad. Oh lord, that whole introduction, that was like a 5 or so minutes. We were talking, we couldn't realize anyone didn't hear us. So, welcome to Swim or Sink 18.
Welcome everyone. We are so happy to see you, and we are so glad that audio issues can be fixed a lot quicker than Splatoon 2's netcode. 3 years, and it still isn't working. But enough about Windows 98 and all that jazz. We are going to be starting off with Cataclysm vs Love Team. So I don't know who's on Love Team. Cataclysm, strong team. We've seen them before in IPL tournaments. We've seen them in testing rounds. We've seen them in SLS. I expect great things from them.
I don't think I'm familiar with Love Team either, but yes, Cataclysm has been a very strong team in these tournaments before. Very exciting to see them on the stream again. But we'll say, what do you think is their strengths going into this match on the side of Cataclysm?
So Cataclysm has always been a really strong team in terms of aggression. They haven't necessarily been, per se, the strongest team, but they've been solidly in the upper mid-level to lower high-level area, if I'm remembering things correctly. I'm poking around on the Battlefy right now. Looks like Love Team is a pickup made up of Achilles, El Diego, etc., Shiny Boy, and Nishi. We did end up having to swap from our previously planned match, which is Salt and Pepper versus Xanadu, which is the one being displayed on the screen right now. Xanadu unfortunately had to drop. We are so sorry not to be able to see them. Hopefully they'll be back next week. But getting back to the match, Shiny Boy, if I remember correctly, is the sniper for Temptation, which is a team that we have seen a lot in SOS. That's Shiny, Logan, Rissa, and I'm forgetting the last person on the team. I'm probably going to do that a lot. Diego I've done pickups with before. He's a great person. Don't know too much about Achilles and Nishi. On the side of Cataclysm, we have Violet, Inari, Voice, and Sam. Not too familiar with them as like individual players, but they're a team that definitely can get good results. So our first map of the night will be Tower Control on Inkblot Art Academy. What are your thoughts on this map, Frosty?
I actually really like this map. It feels like there isn't necessarily any too much landslidey nonsense that can go on, which can really get out of control in some tower control maps, because once you push into that enemy's base, that's not only distance that they have to stop you from taking, but distance that they have to make back up as well. I think that tower control's checkpoints on Inkblot are pretty sufficient at not being too chokeholdy, but at the same time provide a nice balance to where the offensive team can push in, and the defensive team doesn't have to be forced into weird positioning in order to stop those pushes. So I think it's a very interesting map to start the tournament out on.
Yeah, there's a lot of good opportunities for special usage around the first and second checkpoints. I usually think of Inkjet, I think of Booyah Bomb. It looks like we will be seeing what these teams are coming out with, because the teams are loading in. So here we go, Swim or Sink 18 on IPL Splatoon.
And as we're going to see Cataclysm over here in the blue and Love Team in the yellow. Very interesting comp coming out from Cataclysm, sporting that Rapid Blaster. We haven't seen one of those in a good while.
Yeah, Rapid Blaster is something that's slowly coming back into the vogue, as it were. I think a lot of that is influenced by a bunch of top players starting to play it again, such as Chara. That is not the Crapid, that is the regular Rapid Blaster, which, if I'm remembering my kits correctly, would be mine and Bomb Rush.
Right, we're gonna see Love Team starting to just push right into their base. You know, just taking that left side platform, using that to pressure the opponents from there. That Charger making great use of their positioning. They're gonna get to this first checkpoint. Let's see if they can clear it.
It looks like they will. They're making pretty good progress. They did get a very good 2-down situation right off the bat. Nishi launching armor to try and prolong that push. And Logan's going to come in with the Bomb Rush, which is a very nice pick for this snap. Bomb Rush is super strong around the first and second checkpoint.
Right, and they cleared that first checkpoint, so now, like I said, that's distance that Cataclysm does have to make up back going in there. We're going to see this Junior is close to their armor. They're probably going to put it out going into the offense as the Nautilus gets a very important pick onto the opposing T-Tech, meaning that that's one less player they have to worry about pushing in. Love Team now 2 down as Cataclysm is starting to make a push of their own. Let's see where it can go.
Yeah, Sam's really looking to get up onto that plat. The big thing that they want to do right now is displace that Charger. The Charger is going to be in a very good position, and it outranges everything on Cataclysm's team, including that Nautilus. But the Knot can definitely take it as long as it positions well. Unfortunately, the Knot is down, but 3 go down on the side of Love Team. Thanks to some good work from Sam's teammate, and Violet comes in with 50 T-Tech to clean up the last one, making a delayed wipe.
Alright, Love Team's definitely in a spot of trouble now. They have to find a way out of their spawn. Maybe that Charger can snag a pick, but another member of Love Team does go down to Violet. They're just cleaning up that left side, making sure that not many people can come through. And Cataclysm is just taking no prisoners here, taking this tower, moving it forward. They're close to the end. We might see a knockout game 1.
It is very possible. Oh, but unfortunate, that bomb, well placed by Diego, takes down on the member of Cataclysm before they can get on the tower. But right away, Violet comes back to take out Diego. 2v4 on the field right now as Cataclysm continues to try and keep this push going. I am not 100% sure if they'll be able to do it.
I don't know. We're starting to see the members of Cataclysm slowly farm back into the push as Violet is extending it with that Inkjet, that Nautilus holding on, making sure that they can't exactly push back in. So let's just see where they can go with this as Violet finally goes down. I think Love Team actually has finally found their footing and is going to push back in the mid.
Yeah, that definitely is the end of Cataclysm's push there. The 2 aggressors do go down. The Rapid is not close enough to really extend it, but that's okay for Love Team because they still have mid. This map is very, very yellow still. Achilles, though, going down to a great pick by Violet once again, who is really putting in work.
Yeah, no kidding. We're starting to see that how that T-Tech can really work when it has that armor supporting you, just how they can get so aggressive and in your face, and they don't necessarily need to hold back because that's a very fast time to kill, and the comp of Love Team just does not have very high kill speeds to, counter against it, so they have to space out, they have to back off, they have to respect what can happen when that weapon has that ink armor supporting it.
Absolutely, and you can see right now that the armor has been launched, so we will probably be seeing the Inkjet, and as I say it, out it comes. Violet takes to the skies once again with her 4th Inkjet of the game, so she's getting them about 1 per minute, which is not bad at all for a T-Tech.
Not bad at all. And you can see Cataclysm kind of fighting around these corners, making advantage of the fact that, that Charger and that H3, they kind of struggle to fight in things that aren't necessarily straight lines, just making them come to them, and Violet just grabbing another pick. You can see how they're just using those bombs, those specials, and taking advantage of that spacing, ensuring that the opponent cannot come in. But Nishi on the side of Love Team is going to grab that kill and then immediately go down. Thought we were going to see something really pop off worthy there, but unfortunately, the teammates of Cataclysm did come up to back up their teammate.
And Cataclysm is doing just such a great job playing together, playing around their teammates, but the 2 do go down and the 3rd one is respawning currently, so this is Love Team's chance to make something happen. They need to get it all the way through 2 checkpoints and a little bit past that 3rd checkpoint if they want to get the lead here. And 2 do go down right with 15 seconds left on the clock.
Right, and I don't think that armor is going to be enough to save them. That bomb rush coming out from Inari, being able to just clam up that area. Let's see if the members of Love Team can find a way back in before the timer runs out. And unfortunately, we're not going to be able to see it as a clean game 1 goes to Cataclysm.
Yeah, Cataclysm was in control for the vast majority of that game, aside from a little bit at the beginning is where Love Team got that first push in. Just overall, that comp that they had was fast-moving, fast-killing, had enough paint support to really support that Nautilus and the Blaster, which doesn't paint. The Blaster was a very, very good pick because it was able to get around those corners that the Charger and the H3 were having issues with.
Right, and you saw how Cataclysm took advantage of that momentum they were to build up early on in the game. Once they were armored, there wasn't really much Love Team could do to stop them from coming in, just kind of, recklessly and pushing out those quick picks whenever they had the chance. I think it was pretty good on Cataclysm to just, abuse that offensive momentum and keep pushing into their base, which they did very, very well.
Yeah, and another good thing was that they kept up the pressure. With a push to 8, a lot of lower level teams, they might back off a little bit, might not play as risky. They might be of the mindset that, okay, they've gotten to 8. We don't need to push a ton more because 8 is a very safe lead on Inkling. But Cataclysm just kept pushing and pushing and pushing, which is always very nice to see. The best defense is a good offense.
I agree. What do you think Love Team will do to adjust the Cataclysm's playstyle coming into this Clan Blitz match here on Humpback Pump Track?
I'm not really sure, honestly. I don't know if Shiny knows how to play backline weapons aside from Chargers. Traditionally, on Clan Blitz, especially for Humpback, Chargers aren't that great. It is a very hilly map. The curves in the terrain can throw off your aim. It's a better map for Splatlings, better map for the Nautilus. If he knows Bamboo, that could be a good pick, provided they have enough paint. Nishi should do well on here with the H3. I don't know if it's necessarily a weapons issue aside from the Charger. I think it's going to be can they just match Cataclysm in terms of aggression?
And we're about to see it going into this game. Let's see if that holds true, as we're going to see same colors here, Love Team in the yellow, Cataclysm in the blue, going into Clan Blitz on Humpback Pump Track. We're going to see the K52 and Squeezer picks coming out from Love Team, as Cataclysm is going to opt for a Tri-Slosher over their junior from last game.
And we do see that Nari has kept the Vanilla Rapid, so there will be mines, there will be Bomb Rush, which is very good on this stage, especially the Splat Bomb Rush. It will roll down those ramps and get people hiding behind them. 1 down on Love Team already, that would be the Bamboo. 2 down now, leaving just the K52 and the H3, one of which jumps out. So already a very, very aggressive push here from Cataclysm, even though they don't necessarily have enough specials to push in yet. It looks like they're going to try and make a push happen already.
Right, could end up being a little risky though, but they do get the clam in, so we're going to see some scores come out from the side of Cataclysm, maybe just that power clam, which will end up just acting as a clam, and that's not necessarily bad on the end of Love Team, because now they got that pity clam, that's free momentum for us, they're thinking. So now we got to find a way to get past that aggression and just push in on them.
And you can see that K52 is already underneath the basket. Unfortunately, he goes down, but the Rapid Collector does go down as well. So it's a 3v3 on the field. Now with 2v3, as Shiny is trying to keep up enough paint in mid along with the H3 so he can really take advantage of that 99.9 Bamboozle. Shiny does have the technical skills to play this weapon very, very well. Really, it's about keeping that paint up.
Right, but Cataclysm isn't exactly letting that happen easy. You can see how they're just utilizing the incredible paint of the K-Shot, the Nautilus, the Tri-Sloshery, utilizing all that together and just making sure that they can't exactly take mid from them. Trying to just keep that paint up, means that Love Team have to fight a little extra to get moving in.
Yeah, Love Team really needs to rely on the H3 and on the K52 and the Bamboo to get those picks. The Squeezer is good for pushing in with those bubbles that do come out. They does find one down on each side of the team, and they're putting in a lot of clams right now. It's a much, much better push than what Cataclysm got.
Right, and that Booyah Bomb is only going to help to extend that push. Let's see if Love Team finally gets 2 going down, meaning that push is probably going to be over as Cataclysm storms back in the mid, just painting it up, making sure that Love Team has to fight their way back in once more. And we're going to see the Pity Clam drop from Cataclysm. I don't think anyone will take it just yet, but with those specials going out and their Tri-Slosher going down, 3 down on the side of Cataclysm, actually, Love Team has a chance to split that momentum right back in their face. Let's see what they can do with it.
They definitely can do something. They do have the clams to make something happen. They have enough to make a power clam right now. Oh, you can see off to the corner of the left-hand side, they have made one. And Inari is going to pick up the pity from underneath the basket in preparation. Oh, he made his own pity. So they do have 2 pities available on the side of Cataclysm. The Bomb Rush coming out to try and hold them off. One of the Love Team does go down, but the missiles managed to take out the Nautilus.
Right, let's talk about how Love Team just utilizes those specials whenever they start pushing in. You notice that Booyah Bomb plus missiles combination seems to get a couple picks every single time it comes out, which is something worth commenting on because Cataclysm does have to find a way around that whenever Love Team starts pushing in.
Yeah, Booyah and Missile is a very good combination on this stage because it can be used very well for offense and defense. 1 down on each side, now 2 down, 3 down on the side of Love Team. So this is going to be another push from Cataclysm. They do have a decent amount of plans, and they have not picked up their kitty ball yet. So that is an extra 20 points that are just chilling around waiting for more stuff to be added. 26 points remaining on the board for Love Team from Cataclysm as 2 go down on each side of the field, but Sam is going to sink in an extra ball to bring that down to 23.
Right. And that was a very good push coming out from the end of Cataclysm. I think they actually did end up throwing that Pity Clam in, which is just, you know, like you said, another 20 points. Let's see what Love Team can do with the last minute of this game, as they have a Pity Clam in their court, and Cataclysm has no specials on their side. So we'll see what they're able to do as 2 go down.
At 2 down, they will lose that pity. That isn't a big problem for a well-experienced team, though, because they can make another clam very easily. Earlier, we saw how Love Team was tossing clams back and forth. They're very good at clam management. Unfortunate for them, both 3 down between the missiles and the flank from Violet, who is now rapidly trying to get the last one to go down. The Bamboo has respawned, so she will have to drop from that platform, but she can throw in a couple more clams to keep that basket open for a little bit longer.
And that she does. Pushing the score all the way down to 12 means that Love Team has a lot of room to get a comeback going. They have to get not 1, not 2, but 3 power clams in order here to take the score using just those. But you never know, using these 2 power clams, even though 1 goes down, they might be able to make something happen in the last little bit of this game. What are we going to see? Inari and Accept trying to keep mid painted, but they're just putting up so much pressure. That Booyah Bomb is coming out now on that right side. He doesn't find any picks, unfortunately, as the Bamboo goes down on the side of Love Team. Inari popping that bomb rush, the armor, they're moving in. 1 goes down on the side of Love Team. That's one of their clams. Can they find it quickly? Who knows? That bomb, great play on the end of Foil Squeezer, but unfortunately there's not enough time, and that's just going to be the end of the game, meaning a clean victory for Cataclysm yet again.
Yeah, I do believe that since it is pulled, it is play all 3, but the set will be going to Cataclysm. Love Team can still get something out of this, though. One of the reasons why we do play all 3 here is to help for tiebreakers to more accurately determine which team goes into which bracket. So Love Team can definitely still snag a valuable win here. To do that, though, they're going to have to find an answer to Cataclysm's great teamwork. They did seem to have a little bit of it going at the beginning of the Clam Blitz game, where they got that really good push down. But then somewhere in the middle, they just kind of fell apart.
I think it just comes down to how quickly Cataclysm is able to make picks. They get those flanks and they get in their face, and it kind of feels like Love Team isn't exactly falling apart in the teamwork department, but they just don't know what to do when 2-3 of their members are constantly going down to those just rapid fire picks from the likes of Violet and Inari, who are just making great work with their weapons.
Yeah, that is one of the disadvantages that a pickup has over a team, unless it's a pickup of players that have played together for a long time. There isn't that same synergy there that allows Cataclysm to move as a unit together, to play around each other, and to recover faster when they go 2 or 3 down.
And next we're going to be seeing Rainmaker on Anchovy. Shaz, what's your opinion on this map?
Anchovy I have a love-hate relationship with. I will be completely honest. I like it on some modes, I hate it on others. Rainmaker is one of those ones where, it's not a bad mode on it, it's not my favorite overall though.
I feel like the back half of pushing into this map is where things get really troublesome for the team on the offensive end. It's just such a chokehold pushing into that last little bit of the map where there's all kinds of platforms surrounding you, all different kinds of angles the defending team can take you from. So it does make looking for that knockout really difficult.
Yeah, but at the same time, once you get past that last, the ramp that leads to the arcade area, the points start coming really, really quickly. So if both teams end up getting to that point, well, the lead can be stolen very quickly.
We're about to see what happens going into this game. Like you said, it is a play all three going into Rainmaker on Anchovy. Let's see what these teams bring out. We're going to see Love Team defaulting to that comp they used the first game, as well as Cataclysm running something very, very similar, but we're going to be seeing Sploosh 7 come out from Violet. What do you think that's going to do in order of helping them push forward, Shads?
So Splat 7 is a very fast-moving weapon. It is a light class weapon, so it's essentially got a free main of swim speed on it, which is very helpful if that's the one that's carrying. It helps counteract the decrease in movement speed that the Rainmaker has. On top of that, it gets Hammer very quickly. It helps keep the paint up a lot, and Hammer is a very good pushing in special on this map because you can use it to charge down the ramp in front of people. Unfortunately, the Junior does go down thanks to a beautiful snipe from Shiny there. There's one down on each side of the teams. Both of them have lost their armor bots. So we're going to see a pretty big stalemate right now in mid, as both teams are just trying to get control and see if they can move into this. Oh, but as soon as they say that, Love Team with
out
the
of
white.
nowhere. Yeah, that's going to be a lot of sudden points on the end of Cataclysm. I didn't even see it happen. I wonder what actually prompted that wipe to happen, but if I had to take a guess, I think it would be something on the side of Inari and Violet working together, because I saw that bomb rush coming onto that plat, and it looked very scary. So, like I said, I didn't see what happened, but if I had to take a guess, I would accredit it to that.
Yeah, well, Love Team, unfortunately, seeing no chance to defend that push. So Cataclysm has pushed it all the way to A. They do make the smart choice to reset that Rainmaker, but that is going to be a hefty push they'll need to make to get that lead. Except it's going to pick up that Rainmaker once more as two go down on the side of Love Team.
Right, Cataclysm isn't going to wait their turn either. They just picked the Rainmaker back up, and they're starting to push it all the way back in. And we're going to see that Stingray come out from Shiny Boy, looking for that pick onto the Rainmaker, making sure they cannot move forward as they finally ball him. All the members of Love Team are respawned as Cataclysm goes 2 down. Let's see what they can do to push back in.
Yeah, the Stingray also got Violet, who had the hammer out and was charging forward to try and take out anybody who was hanging around by the spawn area, which is another good use of the hammer on this map. Nishi has armor. There's 3 specials on the side of Love Team. He's going to pop it. Looks like they're going to do a quick pop and grab possibly. Bomb Rush, however, does come out, which is going to delay them a bit.
Right, specials on the side of Love Team. They have Stingray and Booyah Bomb active, so I think those would be pretty good tools to push in with, depending on who's carrying the Rainmaker here. Can't exactly see him, but we're going to see Violet throwing these bombs, trying to create pressure, make sure they cannot come onto that plasma. We're going to see that Booyah Bomb mentioned earlier, as well as that Ink Jet from the side of Love Team. They're pushing in with their specials as Diego goes down. I don't think anyone went down on the side of Cataclysm, but it means that they have more to work with now that they went 1 down. Bombs are still flying at this Rainmaker. They only have 30 seconds before it implodes on them, so they got to find a way in, and they have to find a way in fast.
Yeah, but I don't think they're going to be able to, especially with Sam pushed up like that. Sam does push up to take out the Rainmaker and Diego as well, so that's 2 down on the side of Love Team. Unfortunate that they were not able to get those picks with those specials, because they did have the foundations for a good push there. Oh, but Shiny manages to pick off Sam. He drops though and then taps to jump out, so he doesn't die to Inari.
Right, we're going to see Cataclysm flooding that midsection again. They're just starting to push back in, make sure that, you know, Love Team doesn't really have time to find their footing. An amazing snipe from Shiny, putting them in a position where they're 3 down. Love Team finally starting to get a push into the stage going, but Inari does not want to let it happen. Goes down to a bomb, unfortunately. There comes that Stingray. They're looking for picks. They're looking for a way to extend this push, make it go further, as we're going to see, I believe that was Violet jump down and start taking names.
Yeah, Violet jumped down and started taking names along with, it looks like, the Junior, which is very, very good for Cataclysm, because that was a good chance that they could have lost the lead there. 3 down on Anchovy, especially when the opponent has their specials, is in position to make a good push. It's a very dangerous situation because of how fast the points go. So
let's see what they're going to do with those specials, though, because there's only 30 seconds left on the clock, and we're going to see that Ink Armor come onto Cataclysm. I don't think Love Team's going to be able to find a clean push. They might have to just improvise and make something happen in these last few seconds of the game. We're going to see the Octashot go down on the side of Love Team, followed by their K-Pro. 2 down on the side of Love Team. They have to find a way back in quickly. Otherwise, this game is just going to be drawn to a victory for Cataclysm.
Yes, the K-Pro is very close to their Booyah Bomb. Unfortunately, their other special, which was close to being online, the Octo Shock, does go down. Shiny is going to Stingray the Rainmaker to try and allow for one of his teammates to come in, but it does not work. They're not able to get close enough. They do not pick up that Rainmaker, which means no overtime for you. This set goes 3-0 to the Cataclysm. So some excellent work there from Cataclysm, but Love Team
have
is going to be
get back in and just couldn't find their footing.
Yeah, they couldn't. Love Team, though, not a team to discount yet. They will probably do very well in the rest of the pools. But we'll be moving on to our next match shortly. I am not sure if we've picked one yet. Oh, we have Splat Force versus Inkigo-Go's. Oh, and Frosty is gone because Discord is being goofy. Today is the day of technical difficulties. Still better than the netcode for Splatoon. But I think we have Frosty back with us.
Yeah, sorry. Couple technical difficulties on my end. Discord goofed for me. So I'm back here. What were you saying about the next match here, Shads?
So we're seeing Splat Force versus Inkigo-Go's. Splat Force is old team. They've been around for a while. There is Parias, there is Todd, there is Avril, Pang, and I'm forgetting the last member of the team that I remember. Inkigo-Go's, my team actually just fought them last Flow Inc. They're a very strong team. They're consistently getting high beta or alpha brackets.
It's going to be interesting to see. We see Midi, Amphi, Lucky, Kakarot, and Coco here on the side of Inkigo-Go's. I'm very curious. What is their playstyle moving into this game? Like, what kind of comps do they like to use, Shad?
I can't remember the comps off the top of my head, but they are very aggressive. They take no prisoners. If they see an opening, they will jump for it and they will rip it open, and then they will absolutely murder anyone who tries to stop them from ripping it open.
Sounds very interesting. And out here on the side of Splat Force, I hear they kind of have unique comps from what I just kind of heard on the fly. Does that hold true? Is there going to be something interesting we're going to see going into this match?
They definitely don't play like the cookie cutter meta comps that you would expect. Avril is forever trying to get Todd to let her play K-Charger. I am fully in the let Avril play K-Charger camp. I think she should play it. If she wants to play it, she should play it.
Show up for the stream.
Yes, let me go get my Avril will play K-Charger propaganda stuff. I have it somewhere.
I feel like it's slightly concerning that we have propaganda for this.
Oh, it's all in good fun.
All right.
I actually don't recognize some of the names on their list, though. I see Liv, Slick, Pony. I don't know who any of those people are.
Well, it just means they have a chance to show themselves out today on the stream going into this match. What's the map list? What's the map list? I don't have the map list on hand.
I am looking right now. So we see Splat Zone, Starfish Main Stage for a starting one. I like that map. I love playing E-Leader here. E-Leader's a great pick. I don't think Avril will go E-Leader. I think she's more likely to go Firefin. But a girl can hope.
I still do think Starfish is a very interesting map to start on. Gives both teams plenty of room to work with weapon comps. There isn't anything that's necessarily bad on this map, because for those short range weapons, you have those flanked left and right sides and those ramps you can get really close quarters with. But for those longer range weapons, the map is pretty spaced out, so there really isn't much you can go here that's incorrect.
continues to flood it in. We see Avril on that Fire Fin Splat Charger. We also see a Tri-Slosher, or custom Dually Squelches, and the K-Shot. Meanwhile, on the side of Inkigo-go, we see a Ballpoint, an Arrow Spray with the Booyah Bomb. That is not something that I was expecting to see, quite honestly.
Right, it's a very interesting pick, but it does have its merit. It can build those Booyah Bombs very quickly, so we might see that come into a lot of use when it comes to pressuring that Charger, getting them off that platform where they can position freely. We're going to see Inkigo-go just take the zone first, start to move up into their territory, and I will mention they are using the Ballpoint Splatling Nouveau. It's a weapon we haven't seen a lot since it got hit with the Nerf Hammer pretty hard.
Yeah, but I do like seeing that because it is the most aggressive backline weapon you can play, so that does help offshoot some of the lack of aggression that the Arrow Spray has. Arrow Spray doesn't have a lot of killing power. So having that more aggressive backline definitely will help. Unfortunately, going down to a beautiful snipe there by Avril.
Right, but they still have to get past that group of three holding that zone down. That Arrow Spray Tri combination has a lot of painting power, and it's able to hold the zone off even through all of that. So it kind of gives you the question of, can Splat Force find a way to get their paint in before Inkigo-go just takes and runs away with the game?
I don't think they will, and they are not able to. Inkigo-go is just utterly shutting Splat Force down with a very quick and clean KO.
Right, that was a very, very assuring game one that we're going to see a lot of very, very fast comps coming out from the side of Inkigo-go's. I want to take a special notice to that combination of the Aerospray Ballpoint. It put out a lot of paint. I don't really think Splat Force had much to contest with that in terms of getting the zone back.
Really, when faced with a comp like that, with the Tri-Slosher, with the Ballpoint, with the Aerospray, I think is one that I didn't mention, even with the Soda Slosher, which was their fourth weapon, that comp has a very high amount of paint, but it also has a decent chunk of killing power between the Sloshers and the Ballpoint, which helps again cover for the Aerospray's lack of killing power. Really, what you want to do with that comp is you want to kill them faster than they can paint. It's the best way to deal with it, and Splat Force just wasn't able to do that.
Right, and I wonder what we're going to see coming out from the side of Inkigo-go's going into this game that is the game 2 tower control on the Reef. Do you think we'll be seeing something similar from the side of Inkigo-go's, or do you think they're going to switch it up a bit since we're not going to be playing on zones?
I don't think they'll stick with the Aerospray. I would be very, very surprised if they did. I would imagine that they'll replace it with another high painting weapon, maybe a Junior or Menzap. I'm also not sure if we will see the double Slosher. On Splat Force's side, I would expect Avril to play the Ray Charger rather than the Fire Fin. In this tower control, the GG Ray has just been a thing since the first big buff to Ray. And even with all the nerfs it's gotten, it still can be a thing on a lot of maps. Especially on
the ability to shoot through walls just kind of has this, that fundamentally game challenging ability. You can't exactly just deny it, so you have to just deal with it firsthand, which sometimes you just can't do when it's in those tight game situations. GG Ray. We might see it though coming into this game. Tower control on the Reef. I don't think we mentioned it before, but Splat Force is in the yellow as Inkigo-go's is in the blue, and we are going to see a custom Hydra coming out from the side of Inkigo-go's, as well as the orange Inzap. Very interesting weapon picks we're seeing going into this game.
They do stick with the double Slosher, although they have swapped the Soda for a Slosheen. So Inkigo-go's does have the double armor to really help with Avril's Stingray. Meanwhile, on the side of Splat Force, they have changed their support weapon to an N-Zap, and Avril has gone with the unscoped Vanilla Charger, which has better mobility, a better range of vision. Kakarot forcing a splashdown, managing to get a trade with Avril before the other two members of Splat Force there jump on him. So 2 down on the side of Splat Force, unfortunately, but one goes down, 2 go down on the side of Inkigo-go's as that jump gets camped, so they are going to try and try to push here.
Right, that interesting comp doesn't actually seem to be working out much for him here, as we're going to see Splat Force moving into that first checkpoint, Kakarot goes down trying to get some pressure onto that tower, but it's not really going to be worth much as that Ink Storm comes out. They're just rolling this push forward. Inkigo-Go's has to find their footing if they want to stop this push from being a complete curb stomping of the game too.
Todd's going to get cornered by Kakarot in that alley, however. Avril's going to come out with Stingray to try and keep that defensive machine away from the tower and manages to pick him off. Unfortunately, looks like she gets taken out by a flanker. Amphi managing to get make that 3, I think, from her little flank, and Locky is just trying to stay there and play defense while the tower starts to move backwards. However, Ro, push to 32. Very, very good on this map, especially for a first push with having to break 2 of those checkpoints.
Right, and that gets a lot out of their way if they want to push in the future. There's not as much time or resistance needed to go into that. Maybe a single wipe to get them right back to where they were without those checkpoints in the way. As we're going to see Locky trying to pressure that alleyway over there. One goes down on the side of Splat Force as Inkigo-Go's is finally starting to make their presence known with this first push. They get past the first checkpoint, but over here, and we're going to see...
Todd goes down very, very quickly there, but then Avril gets his killer almost immediately with a great snipe, so it's looking like this push might spill out before it can get much farther.
Right, fortunately a stop was put to that quick. It seemed like it was going to go pretty far, but suddenly those 2 going down on the side of Inkigo-Go's, oh, never mind, turns out they're going to be looking for the extension of that push, as the Dually Sculptures cannot stop it, because that means 1 going down on the side, that Ray coming out onto the tower, stopping that push in its tracks for now. Let's see if they can find a way to keep it going, or if they're going to be stopped here, as the K-Pro is just looking for a way to get rid of them. Inzap takes a pick over here on the tower, 2 down on the side of Inkigo-Go's. Is Splat Force going to make the push of their own here, or are they just going to look for a way to kind of regain their footing?
Really important thing here, I would say, is make sure that they regain their footing. Inkigo-Go has a lot of paint with that Inzap and Tri-Slosher combination. I would say more paint than Splat Force does. And then Hydra can put out a decent amount of paint as well if you're really playing well with it. So they really need to be careful because all that paint is going to enable that machine to get very good flanks and have a lot of mobility, which will help it take out the other weapons.
Right, and I kind of want to take a special notice to this orange Inzap that Inkigo-Go's run. It's a very interesting weapon pick, but I don't think I got to talk about it much. It's already put out 8 sets of Tenno missiles. Funny number for it to be actually, kind of funny coincidence, but still, those Tenno missiles can come out very rapid fire, and it seems to kind of be messing with Splat Force's whole flow of the game. As you can see, another wave of them coming out right now.
Yeah, those Tenno missiles are definitely going to be driving certain people on Splat Force nuts, especially that charger, which is one of the advantages of that orange Inzap. It pumps out missiles a lot faster than other missile spam weapons. However, Avril does have that unscoped charger, which makes it a lot easier for her to dodge those missiles and not even have to worry about losing her fully charged shot as well. Another set of missiles comes out as 2 go down on the side of Splat Force. Locky is pushed up through their screen, as well as Amphi. He and 2 other teammates. As the Stingray does come out, Armor comes out to counteract that. Amphi's going to be chasing Todd back towards the tower and manages to pick.
Right, and I think they're finally going to be clearing the second checkpoint. That charger is looking for a pick onto the tower, but can't seem to find it. They finally get it, but it's not just too late. Maybe it is. Inkigo-Go's finally takes this lead after what seemed like 3 entire pushes into their base. Now we have to see Splat Force be put into that position where they only have a small period of time to find it back and see if they can take this push again.
Yeah, and 3 do go down on the side of Inkigo-Go's, but 2 went down on the side of Splat Force to finish stopping that push. Avril is in a very, very tenuous position right now because she is alone on that tower defenseless. And with this Slosher's trying to get up onto that bridge, it's going to be difficult for her. Unfortunate goes down to Kakarot, who will take that tower. The set will go to Inkigo-Go's, but Splat Force could still make something happen in Game 3.
Right. I kind of want to comment on the play style that Inkigo-Go has been opting for here. I think outside of the rather strange picks, like these are weapons you would not see often. You know, who actually brings Orange Inzap? Who actually brings the Booyah Bomb Arrow Spray? But I feel like it's just a kind of a side point to show that Inkigo-Go's does know what they're doing. They're bringing these weapons that are not only really not used, but they're working with them well. They're abusing not only their strengths, but having their team covered their weaknesses incredibly well.
Yeah, they're doing an excellent job, and they're also being very mindful of the picks that they make, the interesting picks, the odd picks. They're making sure that they're aware of where those weapon shortcomings are so they can offset those using their other picks. Certain weapons, you need to really enable them with a comp to be able to do well. The Booyah Bomb Arrow Spray is one of them. The Orange ends up to a lesser degree. Even something like Hydra. Hydra does best when it is set up by other aggressive weapons that let it sit in one place, whether it be in the middle of bridge or on the tower.
Right, it kind of gets me excited to see what we're gonna see going into this game, the third game, Clam Blitz on Piranha Pit. You know, they can really just bring out anything at this point, so it's got me a little hyped up to see it. But at the same time, let's see how Splat Force responds to these very, very off picks and this aggressive playstyle that kind of just makes sure you have to just shut them down before they can get their ball rolling.
Yeah, Splat Force did very well in that last match. It was not a clean game for Inkigo-Gos like the first one was. I think that Avril changing to the slightly more aggressive Splat Charger helped. I think that changing to an NZAP helped a lot in terms of paint output, and they also did not have to worry about the massive amount of paint that the Arrow Spray did. I would expect Avril to stay on the vanilla Splat Charger for Clam Blitz Piranha Pit. Ray can be very powerful on this map. It's flat, it's wide open, there's not a lot of cover to hide behind.
All right, let's see if that theory holds true going into this game. Clam Blitz on Piranha Pit, game 3 of this set in swim or sink pools.
Teams are starting to load in. We see Avril on the bamboo actually, and Slick with the squeezer. Meanwhile, on the side of Inkigo-Gos, we see a tent umbrella from Amphi and a ballpoint Nouveau. But we also see a Slosher Deco, which is another weapon that hasn't really been in vogue in meta for quite some time.
Yeah, that's been a while since I've seen this weapon come out, but it's going to be interesting to see what they can do with it considering these last 2 matches. Splat Force, though, is going to waste no time bursting out into this field, taking a pick on that ballpoint Nouveau, and they've got their specials already loaded up. That armor going to be coming out soon, as well as those Tinted Missiles from Avril. They already have a clam going. It just, you know, taking that very aggressive start, those picks really help them push out into the mid as 2 go down on the side of Splat Force from the work of Laki. But, no, never mind. That's the wrong side. Okay.
This right side. I don't Laki switching up now with the ball point, going to fight the squeezer as his teammates managed to open up their basket and get 2 balls in. They must have built a second one right by the basket because when they were pushing in, they only had 1. Laki going to jump back to
that deep in this set as well. And they already have a 3rd clam going into this. It kind of leaves Splat Force in a position where they need to find some momentum and find it fast. You can see them holding those 2 clams and that armor. They're going to start trying to move in, but using that Booyah Bomb. But let's see what Inkigo-Gos responds with on the defense.
Yeah, Inkigo-Gos does have a comp with a lot of defensive capabilities. The Tent Umbrella in particular is one of them. It's got the bubbles, it has the shield, it can be very, very helpful. The ballpoint can drop down and deal with threats a lot better than other backlines can. The Pariahs, they're going to have to back up from that tent and just launching bubbles on that right-hand side, and unfortunately their squeezer goes down, who really has their main pushing in special. Splat Force really is going to be relying on the squeezer to get the bubbles to help them push in, along with the Booyah Bomb from Todd. Meanwhile, on the side of Inkigo-Gos, they have a baller, they can do rain bubbles, they can do bubbles armor. Or they could just murder everyone and get in that way.
Anything works really when you're playing like Inkigo-Go plays. We're going to see that armor coming out from Coco, and they're going to get in that 1v1, turn it to a 2v1, take out that NZAP, pushing into where that squeezer is, maybe get that bamboo too. Those bubbles go out and take out Coco. Great job from Slick here, taking that pick, maybe make it 2 down on both sides, as we're going to see those clams kind of just be held, making sure Pariahs getting up in that Tent Umbrella's face and just taking it out, making sure they can't set up. They're like, no, you're not allowed to push into us. I'm just going to come up behind you and take you out. You aren't looking at me.
Yeah, the Slosher goes down during a scrap to the rush point with the NZAP. The Tent Umbrella has respawned. It is back in mid, but the shield is broken and it will go down as well. Splat Force really is getting into a decent position right now. They have the clams for it to push.
But can they make it to the basket? We're going to see, and I think they're finally going to make a push, as we're going to see some jumps coming out from the side of Splat Force. That's going to be one power clam in. Unfortunately, the second one doesn't go in just yet. 3 down on the side of Splat Force. I think that's going to be an end of their push, with Amphi moving up into their clam area to start that next push.
Yeah, that was a really good use of the Tent Umbrella Shield there, and the bubbles are going to come out to protect the teammates as 3 go down on the side of Splat Force. The last one being Todd on that K-Pro, who is not going to be able to do a ton. They build another ball there, and they're tossing clams in. They just need one more to get that lead, and they will get it. Clean 3-0 for Inkigo-Gos.
Right, and I kind of want to comment on just the incredible play coming out from Inkig-Go-Gos. You know, like I commented on the unusual weapon picks earlier, but I don't want to really focus on that as much as I just want to do that incredible team play that was really showcased in that match. You saw how Amphi kept putting that shield up, making sure that Kakarot and Loki kind of just had areas to sit behind. You know, it's like they didn't exactly have to have the pressure drawn to them because their team did such a good job at drawing all that resource in. So once that happened, they just took the picks and ran with it.
Yeah, I will say this though, regarding the unusual weapon picks, that does prove, if we can't make that obvious from watching enough of Japanese teams play, that just because something isn't meta doesn't mean it can't work. And honestly, it is really great to see teams go with those off-meta picks, those picks that people will look at you and say, you can't play that because it's not a good weapon.
Right, and that's not to say these games are just outright, just outright curb stomps or anything. Splat Force did hold their own, and they really did give Inkigo-Gos a challenge throughout those sets, especially in that game too. You saw Inkigo-Gos really just had to make that push out in the end, and it paid out for them. So it's not like we're going to be seeing just that's it for Splat Force. You know, they still have plenty to work with, and they are quite a promising team.
Yeah, they really are. They've been slowly working their way up for the past couple years. It's been great to see how far they've come. I can't wait to see how far they will go, and good luck to them in the rest of the tournaments. And good luck to Inkigo-Gos as well. We're gonna move on, Bo, to Breakfast versus Symphony. I'm not sure which team name I like better.
I like Breakfast. I don't even wake up in the morning, and I'm still a breakfast guy.
I wonder if they're hungry for the win.
That was terrible. That was awful.
I'm sorry if the puns aren't music to your ears.
Incredible. That was that was awful. Hold on.
I will stop for the sake of all our lovely viewers. And for Frosty, I guess.
No, please keep going. These are great. That one snuck by me though, I will say. I actually am not familiar with either of these teams, but I'm pretty excited to see coming off of that second set. You know, there's a lot of really high level play coming out here. So just keeps you guessing. What are we gonna see coming out from these teams if you're familiar with either of them?
I'm looking it up right now. So, Symphony is a team, it's been around for a while, there's 5 people on it. There's Takara, there is KO, Swampy, 2 others whose names are escaping me, that I'm looking for right now. Here I go, I see it. Breakfast versus Symphony. Ozzy and Pez. Then on the side of Breakfast, we have Kona, Channon, Astralis, Kobeth, Riggedy, and Buns.
I'm actually not familiar with any of these people, unfortunately, but it does just leave more to question for me, though, so I'm pretty excited to see what we're going to see going into this.
Names from some of the players of Breakfast. They've played in low rank before. I can't say that I know any of them personally, or that I know anything about them, really. But they've played before, they've done fairly well. If I'm remembering things correctly, they usually make a bracket in day 2. Symphony is another team that usually makes a bracket. KO is a very good charger. Takara is a wonderful, wonderful person, aside from being a good support player. I want to say Swampy, Oz, and Pez are their slayers.
Well, we'll just have to see going into this game. I believe the maps are... Hold on. Do you have the maps? I need to look at them. I just need to get a map list. I need to have like a map list on me. Like I should just, before each tournament, I should just start bringing a map list with me. Oh, they're gonna pull up here on the stream as we're gonna see Rainmaker on Manta Maria. So this map actually gets pretty landslidey really quick if you can get those quick wipes. You have a lot of area to get offensive onto. You can push down the center going in down that alley. You can push down that right side, jumping that gap between where the wall is and the mid. Or if you really want to get, you know, kind of unsafe and push somewhere where they're not really expecting it, you can go down that left side, but it's really risky because it's pretty easy to hold the defense there. I wonder what we're going to see going into this match, but we're probably going to see a lot on the ends of aggression, maybe something like a brush or something to hold that top area.
I would love to see a brush. I don't think anybody on Symphony plays brush. I am not sure about breakfast.
Both sides of the teams once we get the match started.
Backline-wise, I would like to see maybe ditching the backlines for a Bamboo or a Nautilus. Rainmaker is a mode that's highly aggressive. I would love to see some of the more aggressive comps.
I agree. But I do feel that regardless of what we see, this is kind of one of those maps where, yet again, you can make a lot of things work. So it's going to be interesting to see what teams opt for going into this area.
Yeah, it really is. I think we are waiting for somebody to join the room, so we apologize for the slight delay. If you want, I can figure out some more puns to pass the time.
I think we could do with some more puns. Hit me with your best.
Oh, that is a tough one.
I don't know. I think you can strike a high note on this.
A high note? Well, I don't know. Maybe I should give the puns a rest.
Alright. We'll make it quick.
While you're waiting, you can make your predictions in the chat, which is something that we haven't mentioned before. Choose which team to win. You can earn channel points. It is as close to gambling as you can get without getting in trouble. It is Sky-sanctioned gambling. She's in the chat. She's encouraging it. And most importantly, you cannot give away your college tuition by doing it.
I mean, you still can, but that's not something the channel promotes.
I mean, you could, but I don't think you can bet your college tuition. What you can bet, though, is channel points.
Pretty interesting. I was about to say, I don't think I've ever seen that feature before, and then I realized, no, I've used it before. Why am I saying I've never seen this before? But just me forgetting how Twitch works. It's incredible.
Somebody gambled away the memories. And we see that teams are finally loading in, so we apologize for the slight delay. It's time to get things going once again at Swim or Sink 18.
Game run, Rainmaker on Manta Maria, as we're gonna see another Sploosh 7. We saw one of those earlier today coming out on the side of Symphony, as Breakfast is gonna be rolling out with that hero Splatling.
We also see on the side of Breakfast in H3D, Sorella, which is a nice pick. Bomb Rush will be very helpful for popping that Rainmaker shield. And we see the CBS, meanwhile, on the side of Sympathy, aside from the Sploosh 7, which unfortunately has already gone down, we see CBS, we see an Orange NZAP, which also has gone down, and the infamous custom Jet Squelcher. 15-second Stingray, anyone?
I mean, we can get faster if you want to.
I'd prefer not to. Looks like
be very much nightmarish to handle. Let's see what Breakfast can do with this first push, though. They're going to take up that Rainmaker jump right up that right side, as that earlier mentioned Stingray coming out to try and stop that push. We're just going to see Breakfast walk it forward. No need for paint or swimming, they say. Just, you know, nice little stroll through the Manta right side.
That is pretty smart with that Stingray out. He did not have time to paint the ground, and Splatlings traditionally have a lot of run speed stacked onto their gear, so that will help them move faster when holding the Rainmaker. So,
right, and that push stopped at 49, so it's not exactly an uncomfortable push coming out from Breakfast either. Let's see what Symphony's going to respond with, though, as one of them does go down that top area, that run speed on that Splatling, letting them just kind of graze across those grates, moving freely. And we're going to see Kona jumping up onto that area with the top area with that CDS, being able to kind of just pressure them from moving up, as we're going to see that Stingray now coming out from the end of Symphony. Yet again, that custom jet sculpture putting out those rays. We're already at 3. Let's see how many we can get before this game ends.
Tucker is going to try and climb the wall, get it through the street to help pop that Rainmaker. Symphony so far doing a very good job on the defense. Although they have not made a push yet so far, they have managed to stop the pushes that Breakfast has put together from going into a dangerous area. The Rainmaker is going to reset. Sakura goes down, but she does manage to prevent Breakfast from picking it up. One down on each side of the team as KO gets the pick with that Stingray. Make that 2 down on the side for Breakfast.
Right, that Brella was getting really aggressive, just trying to, find a pick or two, but it seems they're going to go down. And now we're going to see what happens when Symphony tries to come here and take mid, as their custom jet sculpture is going to go down to Kona and those custom dueling sculptures. They managed to make it a triple, putting 3 down on the end of Symphony. Breakfast really gets the opportunity to push here. Great play coming out from those custom dueling sculptures. Let's see what they can make out of it in terms of making the push.
And now the push is definitely going into dangerous territory here. 28 points remaining on the board. That is not impossible to overcome, but definitely not a position you want to be in with 2 minutes remaining in the game, especially considering Symphony hasn't gotten any points on the board yet.
Right, we're going to see KO throwing out that Stingray, trying to make it as a member of Breakfast sneaks in, just runs it for those points. 15, even more dangerous territory now, but I don't think this push is over yet. We got the jumps coming in for Breakfast. I don't think they're going to be able to extend it any further, but it looks like they're trying to make something happen, or just stall for a little more time, if anything.
Yeah, the Breakfast Brella does manage to slip out as Ozzy grabs that Rainmaker and resets it, so back to mid it goes, but this map is very blue, and there is not a lot of time remaining. 1 minute and 20 seconds goes by fast in Rainmaker. It's that Stingray number 6 for Symphony, as KO lifts it out once again, manages to get a pick with 1 person on it.
Right, and then 2 down on the side of Breakfast. Let's see if Symphony can finally convert it into some momentum moving forward. I do appreciate that Splatling is holding back, just kind of playing that defense. Breakfast is not wanting to let them through very easily, but we're going to see another Stingray.
I think we might actually have a DC. That Brella has not respawned, so that is a DC. Breakfast is firmly on defense right now. That Stingray is going to come out. It does manage to get 2 down on Sympathy. Make that 3 down. So that push will be over, but Breakfast is in a very dangerous position here. It is much easier to get wiped right now.
Right, DC means a permanent 1 down. That's 1 less person to help back up your team, and they didn't go back to spawn either, so the DC rule is out of question now.
Well, they were not able to because it just occurred way too late. DC rule state has to be above 30, if I remember correctly, but a very smart move there by Breakfast to reset that Rainmaker at the very last second. Kona's going to try and stop it from being grabbed. He manages to grab it, so they will actually take that 3v4.
Incredible work on the side of Breakfast. That DC halving lane to the game did put them in a dangerous spot, but they seem to hold through with that lead they had, so it does manage to just pay out for them in the end.
Yeah, and really getting that lead quickly in the game really is what helps them. If they had gotten the lead and had it only stayed at 49, then that game almost certainly would have gone in Symphony's favor. But because they got it to 15, they were able to just hang on and get things just to the point where they could defend it. And once again, excellent play there at the end, keeping the Rainmaker back in their spawn where it is safe by that edge, so that way when the Stingray came out, they could just dump it overboard and put it back in mid. Between that and then getting a triple right at the end was just really, really, really well played.
I agree. Breakfast did make really good work, but I kind of want to make a compliment to their team play. Them pushing behind that Brella honestly was just what allowed most of their picks to just move so fluidly, you know, with that Brella in that way, just kind of pulling everyone's attention yet again. We saw it earlier in the second set with the use of the Tinta Brella, but even with the smaller Brellas like the Sorella, you saw how it pulled everything towards it, and their teammates were just able to capitalize off it. So Breakfast took a lot of advantage out of that. They made those pushes into dangerous territory really quickly, and even with Symphony putting out all those Stingrays from the likes of KO and his custom jet sculpture, you couldn't really see them making any momentum going back in. So just incredible defense on the side of Breakfast as well.
Yeah, it is not easy to win those 3v4s. But moving on, we've seen one of my favorite, absolute favorite map mode combinations of all time. It is the one, the only, the not my mahi mahi, Splat Zones on Albacore Hotel.
This map is very unique though, because it provides sorry, I'm laughing about the mahi mahi joke. Rest in peace, mahi mahi. Will forever be missed, unless it comes back in Splatoon 3. Nintendo, please.
Nintendo, please, we're begging you.
Anyways, back to the map at hand. Splat Zones on Albacore is pretty interesting because, you know, it's got those grates to get to mid. It's got that one jump across that little centerpiece area. So you kind of have you have to space it out a bit. You have to play to the ranges a bit, which means that those shorter range weapons, while still working very well on this map, it's a little bit harder to get them in where they can do the brunt of their work.
I want to see an E-leader. I am not even going to be unbiased about it. I want to see an E-leader.
Might get
and
to
I
see
get
it,
the
though,
feeling KO will pull one out.
You might get to see it going into this game. Splat Zones on New Albacore Hotel as KO does pull out that E-leader. Go ahead, cheer. We're going to see two E-leaders, actually. Breakfast pulling out one of their own as well.
Action. We're reliving the Splatoon 1 glory days as best as we can. Both E-leaders do have Respawn Punisher. So anyone who dies to him, well, they're going to be in for a nasty surprise.
Right, and we're going to see Breakfast kind of pushing up into their alleyway, but Symphony does manage to take that zone. They're already putting their points on the board really early on as Breakfast opted for that flank, and I don't think it's going to pay out for them as they're kind of caging him in, but they're on both sides, and all members of Symphony are still up as Breakfast is going to start taking the zone back, and it's a complete wipe from Breakfast. Great job on Sean getting that cleanup pick. Just incredible teamwork all around, and they already have that paint up in their alleyway, up in their court. It's going to be really difficult for Symphony to find a push way back in.
The other thing I want to point out, I believe that those are the vanilla dually squelchers on the side of Breakfast. So that is kind of missing.
It's a pretty interesting pick. We're going to see H3 being the armor choice for Breakfast has kind of been inconsistent, but it's also a little interesting to see, and I think I might be mistaken, but I believe Symphony has no armor, so if they're in a situation where they're in a 1v1, they might end up getting just outpaced by that extra health. Yeah,
and they do as the entire team goes down again. Sean is pushing up on that bridge, which is a very aggressive position for a charger, but I like it. He's going to come back to mid-bow to try and help take out the Symphony players who are coming in from the left.
All right, Symphony have to make work fast too, otherwise they're not going to be able to cap the zone, as we're going to see it just end out really, really fast. Breakfast taking a very, very clean game two off to what seemed like a rocky start. That quick wipe shifted the game so quickly, and it was just instant from there. They could not escape that lock, and that is Splat Zones for you, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah. Breakfast just had such a high painting comp. The Brella paints a lot, the H3 paints a lot, E-Leader paints a lot more than people would think. I would argue that it is the best painting backline weapon in the game, even with how much it got nerfed between S1 and S2, and then even with the slight paint nerf that it's gotten throughout the game.
This is E-Leader propaganda. You are not immune to it. I'm not a part of it, but you're not immune to it.
Absolutely. I am all for seeing more E-Leaders. But I don't think we'll be seeing any more E-Leaders on this set, because we are going to Tower Control Sturgeon Shipyard.
Right, let's see how... My bad there. we're going to be going into tower control on Sturgeon Shipyard. It's been one of the more interesting map picks in my experience. Just, it kind of makes you, like, really work for that second checkpoint, because that first checkpoint you can get by pretty easily on if you got a good push going, but that second checkpoint is just a very, very tough chokehold. It's going to be pretty interesting to see what these teams are going to do to get around it.
Yeah, that second checkpoint is where pushes go to die on this map, but once you get past it, it is not hard to get to the third and clear it. I am hoping we will see a slosher, maybe two. The sloshers can stand on those grates that are above the second checkpoint and really rain paint down on it.
Right, but let's see what happens going into this game. Sturgeon Shipyard, tower control. We're going to see that Symphony has opted to bring that E-Leader back out again from the side of KO. Looks like Shad's wishes will be granted going into this game.
I am very surprised, pleasantly surprised. A bit shocked that they did not go the Raid Charger though, especially because they do not have armor. Meanwhile, on the side of Breakfast, there is that armor. Symphony is really going to have to rely on Tenta missiles from Sakura, and I want to say Swampy is the K-Shot to shut down any Stingray that comes out.
Right, that's going to be just a little bit of just kind of a risky play in general. That lack of armor, like you said, is just kind of scary when you have to factor in Ray, but let's see what happens if they're going to get that first push going, and they're just going to bring that momentum going into this game. It is all forward for them. There's no one pulling back. They are just looking for the picks, just looking to make quick work of this team before the match even gets started. The Breakfast is finally starting to find their footing as one goes down on that top area, being the Octo Shot. Sean is looking for a snipe, but I don't think he's going to be able to find any with these angles.
Yeah, he's really having a tough time as Swampy pushes up and ruthlessly takes him out, and Ozzy is on that Kenta machine, which can be very good for clearing off snipes, clearing off the grates, arcing up over the wall to get people hanging out on top of it. Probably just going to keep pushing up. He does manage to get one down, it looks like, before dying, but that's going to give his team an opportunity. The Bray does come out, neither missile weapon has the missile, so unfortunately nothing to counter it there. That is the risk of not running armor or another Stingray on tower control. And to go down on the side of Symphony, they're respawned now, but that's going to let Breakfast come in and take an in.
Right, let's talk about the weapon picks of Breakfast here. It's pretty standard for the most part, but I do like the synergy that this H3 and Umbrella have when working with each other. They're kind of trying to make it push forward, and we wonder what's going to happen, but we're going to see this Brella get in a fight with Takara here. Takara is not going to be able to get around them. It's going to turn into a 2v1 relatively quickly. They're going to end up killing the Umbrella here on the side of Breakfast. Symphony may be able to stop this push to go down on the side of Breakfast. It makes you just kind of sit here tense. Are they going to get past it? No, the tower is going to start moving back. I think that push is over with.
Yes, it does look like they cleared that second checkpoint. Just barely. No, the first checkpoint. Did they clear the first checkpoint?
No,
Okay.
the first checkpoint wasn't cleared.
No, Breakfast.
Oh yeah, okay, Breakfast cleared it, yes.
So
Sorry,
that is one less thing that they have to do on the next push. Meanwhile, on the side of Symphony, they are 2 down, and they still have not cracked that checkpoint. They got close to it this time, but with 2 of them down and Swampy in a corner, that is going to end for them badly.
Right, that's Stingray coming in used yet again. As you said, they don't have any ink armor to counter it, so when that Ray is online, it's just something that Symphony kind of had to find an answer quick to. If they don't have a missile online, they're just kind of left at the mercy of the Ray player to not find them.
Yeah, now 2 down on the side of Symphony as they're respawning. Breakfast is going to surge up, get into the spawn. KO manages to pick one with that respawn Punisher activating, but it's not going to do a lot. Breakfast has cracked that second checkpoint. 2 down on the side of Symphony again, although the push has stalled a bit as Sean backs up the Stingray, the E-Leader. This is not looking good, to state the blatantly obvious.
Right, Breakfast finally getting their push going, and are they going to close it out here? Push stops at 2, but I don't think it's over yet. Symphony still has to take out these stray members, and they're going to find 2 picks on here, making it a 3-down situation. I believe that Charger is already backed out, so it looks like that push will stop right at 2. Not quite a KO, but it does go to show that this match is not over yet. Symphony has a long way to go if they want to make a comeback, but it's not going to be easy.
Yeah, two do go down on the side of Symphony, but one person does jump out on the side of Breakfast, so that does effectively make it a 2v3 on the immediate field. Field also is going to go up onto the spinner to try and get some more paint into mid, which is pretty yellow, but a beautiful snipe from KO takes him out, and then another goes down on the side of Breakfast. The last one jumps out, so this is Symphony's chance to make something happen.
Right, we're going to see the 10 missiles plus Inkstorm combination come out there, getting that paint rolling out. They're probably going to be able to clear this first checkpoint, but the question is, are they going to be able to clear this next one? Inkjet coming out on the side of Breakfast, looking for this pick on to Ozzy, but they're not going to find it. Ozzy just making their presence known, pushing up into the platform of Breakfast, taking out the umbrella.
Another goes down on the side of Breakfast. Overtime, they lost the lead, so we will see our first set that does not end in a 3-0.
Right, incredible job from Symphony, finding their footing there, finding what they need to get that push going and push back into the base of Breakfast, just in that game right before it gets too late for them to make a statement. Incredible job from them making that comeback push.
They did a very great job. In overtime, teams can sometimes panic, especially when you have that much ground to make up. But Symphony did a really, really good job at isolating the targets that needed to go first, one of which was that charger, that Stingray. If it got online, it was going to stop that push. So they really concentrated on shutting that charger down, and they managed to do it.
Right. In between games here, I'm just gonna kind of take an obligatory moment to ask for everyone to take a quick water break before our next match. I had to get a drink of water. It felt necessary to say it.
Pools are done though, so we are going to be waiting for the bracket to be seeded. In the meantime, though, we have some important announcements. Splatoon Amateur Circuit Season 3 Event Number 3 is coming up at 1 p.m. EST or 10 a.m. PST on Saturday, February 13th. SAC is a series of tournaments aimed for teams Divisions 3 and below. The higher you rank in a tournament, the more points you get, and the 8 teams with the highest amounts of points from all tournaments play in the finals competing for a prize pool of over $150. This is the last event before the All-Star Game, so come and compete. Sign-ups are located here, and I will copy this link and place it in the chat for you. In the Zone 23 is Sendout's Double Elimination Tournament on Sunday, February 21st. The only game mode played is Splat Zone, so go ahead and enter if you have a knack for it. You can join Sendout's Discord server for more information. And I will also link you that. I would highly recommend joining anyways. Sendout does a lot for the community. And
right, these tournaments
awesome
are usually very high quality. I don't think I've ever seen an In the Zone that wasn't like extremely quality, so it is worth signing up if you have a team in the free time.
And then we also have 2 tournaments coming to you from the staff over at Midpoint. Firstly, Midpoint Plus Cup is on Valentine's Day at 6 p.m. UTC. For those of you who are not celebrating Valentine's Day, that is Sunday, February 14th. There will be a $333 prize pool, a gold and silver bracket, with the top 8 of gold and the top 3 of silver getting suggested into Midpoint Plus. If you do not know what that is, it is a team ladder and scrim hub. The top 3 teams in the gold bracket get right into Midpoint Plus, so you don't even have to worry about having to survive the voting afterwards. The second Midpoint tournament is the Midpoint Draft Cup 5.0 on February 28th at 6 p.m. UTC. The format is groups into double elimination. The top 3 teams get inducted into Midpoint, and the top 8 get suggested. You can sign up either as a team or as an individual player. or if you sign up as an individual player, the Midpoint staff will sort you into a team. It's a great way to meet other players and teams that you haven't spoken to before. Both tournament information can be found in Midpoint's Discord server, which you can join here. And as always, we at IPL appreciate your support. People have supported us in the past for tournaments and prize pools and such. If you want to donate, obviously you're not obligated to, but here is the link. We appreciate everything that people donate for us, but we also appreciate all of you coming out and joining us here on this wonderful Wednesday evening. I don't know if we have anything else to talk about right now, so I think we will go to a short break. So we will be back later with the start of brackets. Don't go away. You are watching Swimmer Sync 18. Welcome everyone! We are back with Swimmer Think 18 and we are about to start our bracket stage. I'm Shads, joined again by Perovsky.
Welcome back to the stream, guys, and going into the bracket, we have a very, very interesting round 1 game with some AU pickup being the Latias, MGJ, Perks, and Shockwave. Very, very strong pickup, honestly, because I just know a few of these guys by name. Like, these are really, really good names in the AU scene from what I've heard of, so it's going to be very interesting to see how they play.
And then we have for Ruichar on the other side of the match, that's Naba, Rui, Crops, Jelly, and Slacker T21.
Right, and Ruichar is also another interesting team coming into this. I know Rui, but I haven't necessarily talked to him. Like, I just kind of know him from a few server interactions I've had with him. I haven't really talked to him. Inaba and Crops are new names to me, but Jelly and Slacker I've seen play in a couple tournaments, so I know that they are very, very well-rounded players. And it's going to be interesting looking into the set, though, because a lot of strong names here, a lot of really, really interesting weapon choices as well, so can't wait to see what we're going to get going into this match.
Yeah, I personally cannot wait to see Latias play. I am a sucker for a good backline, and Latias is a very, very good backline. Out of all of the names on the AU side, probably the ones that people are most familiar with would be obviously Latias, and then Shockwave, who up until recently played for Arctic Moon.
So some very familiar names coming into this set. It's pretty exciting to see, honestly. So I can expect a pretty good match going forward.
Yeah, I personally go want to see Slacker play, because I haven't seen Slacker play in a while. Slacker obviously used to be on Instant Ramen. I believe Jelly was as well. So I haven't seen Jelly around every once in a while since that team kind of fell off the radar, but I haven't seen Slacker, so I really, really want to see how well he's been, what sort of things he's been up to since then, and if that super high skill level still is there.
Right, it's just going to get to be a lot of really interesting stuff going into this match, especially since we have just very strong players coming in. And now we're going to get the map list up on screen here for you. Clam Blitz, Inkblot, Art Academy is game 1. And what do you expect to see, Shads, in terms of weapon compositions here?
Not really sure. So Latias will probably go with Sniper. Probably, it's not my favorite pick for this map mode combination, but I suppose she could surprise me and break out the Heavy. Honestly, I would not expect this. I would be more inclined to believe that we would see some sort of Heavy or a Bamboo or a Notch over a Charger, just in general, for Inkblot Clams. It's got the 2 stacks on the right and left hand side, which can be kind of hard to line shots up through. Sloshers can be good here because you slosh up over onto the plat. If any of the competitors knows a Carbon can be very strong here again. Flicking up onto the plat, getting those kills on people who stray too close to the edges. Inkjet is good here. Booyah Mom is good here. There's just a lot of things that are good here, which makes it hard to narrow down what exactly you're going to see. But that also makes it for so many people
right, and if I
have options. I would imagine Shockwave is going to play a Notch. That is probably the thing I'm most confident on. I'm guessing he will probably play the Inkjet Notch.
Yeah, it's a pretty confident pick, and I think if I remember correctly, correct me if I'm wrong in chat, but I believe Jelly plays Brella. My memory serves correctly, so we might see that coming out from the side of Ruichar, which, you know, is pretty interesting to see nowadays. Like, back then, you know, if you saw it, it was good seeing it on NA just because not a lot of people played it, but now, since it's got nerfed a few times, it's really interesting to see it. It's kind of a rare pick.
Yeah, really, there's few people that I can think of off the top of my head that play a Tentabrella or a Brella in general, and play it well over here. The ones that spring to mind instantly are Tamashi, Swisher, Yuma. Yes.
Swisher, yeah, Yuma, Tamashi,
One of the players that we saw earlier played Brella. Turtle plays tent.
Turtle plays tent, yes.
Turtle tent.
Chara dropped Brella, I think, but if they didn't, they play it. I think they dropped it, though.
I'm pretty sure they dropped it, or at least shoved it onto the back burner.
Right.
So, it's great to see some Brella action here. If we see that, I would be ecstatic. It's a weapon that takes a lot of skill, and we don't see it enough.
Let's see if teams get to surprise us, though. Clan Blitz here, Ink Art Academy, Game 1, Round 1 of the bracket section of Swim or Sink. We're going to see Jelly playing the Tri-Slosher Shockwave, bringing out the Nautilus as predicted earlier. So on the side of some AU pickup, you have Shockwave with the Nautilus, followed by Latius with the Charger, Carbon and 96 coming out from, sorry, that name failed me. MGJ has the 96. I forgot the other player's name. Apologies in advance. But coming out on the side for Ruichar, you have the Tri-Squeezer Kenza Jr. and Nautilus comp. Very interesting comp to see out here on this map, which means they are going to be running a very offense-oriented no backline comp. So let's see how that works out for them.
I personally like both these comps. Double Bubble can be very strong here, especially since Bubble is probably the best way to push on this map. You can push it up the steps, you can push it up the wall, you can just spawn them and have them floating around the basket. Right now, it is a fight for mid. We saw some picks going on for the AU pickup and for Ruichar. Part 1 does go down on each side of the team, the Carbon versus the Squeezer, so both teams are down one player as the AU pickup manages to get a ball in. Unfortunately, MGJ going down to everybody to buy that basket, but Latias is going to use that bomb rush to clear some space and to help her team get in to get some more clams in as well.
And with that, that's a pretty strong opening push. 53 is nothing to scoff at, and it looks like they're going to look to extend it some more as they go up into this. Ruichar kind of has to find a way to break through and stop this push from getting way too deep early into the game, otherwise it could look bad for them. As we're going to see them jump back, kind of sit back a little bit as the push ends. Now with a Pity Clam in Ruichar's position, it's their turn to kind of make a statement. Let's see what they can find with this. As we're going to see Ruichar get into a fight with a Shockwave, win the Nautilus war, one going down for some AU pickup as that Inkjet's going to go up. Offensive statements are starting to be made here. MGJ in trouble with the Inkjet Burst Bomb combination, kind of creating some chip, but it looks like he's going to get out just fine as Ruichar keeps pressuring up onto this platform. Bubble's starting to come out as well. It looks like they're going to make a push here. I don't think they'll be able to stop it, but MGJ up on that top platform, just making sure they can't come through as 2 go down on the side of Ruichar.
Yes, even with the 6 bubbles out, a couple well-placed picks by MGJ managed to stop that push. And Flagger going down to a snipe from Latias. Very good snipe there.
Yeah, really good shot in Latias, and she's just trying to make some picks here. She gets a really clean snipe on to Brun. They're starting to push forward. They got 2 clams going. Nope, just 1, never mind, but Shockwave has those 9 clams in his hand. He's probably going to be looking to score a few of them too as he starts throwing them in. Ruichar really has to find a way out of this spot quickly. Shockwave going into that Inkjet, creates some pressure, make sure that they cannot move forward. Trades, and there's a wipe. They only need 1 more clan as the team is finally wiped out. Can they get it in time?
Clams up there. That was just peak Clan Blitz play right there.
Right, AU pickup really showed their stuff in that match, just getting up on that platform, showing what they had, making sure that Ruichar didn't really have many ways to come down from that platform either. Just really overall good show from the AU pickup.
Yeah, each member of the AU pickup did extremely well. I mean, that isn't to say, though, that Ruichar can't give them a run for their money, because even though that clan game did kind of snowball, next game is Rainmaker Buffalo Skate Park, and if there is a map or mode where the momentum can shift in a blink of an eye, it is this map mode combination.
Absolutely. Now you're going to get to see where everything really gets to a snowball, so you might as well get your jackets here. The key word here, though, is Stingray. This map is flat and long for the most part, so we're going to get to see Latias maybe work that Stingray if she chooses to switch to it, and it'll be pretty interesting to see if she does opt for it. On the end of Ruichar,
I think that she will. The question is she going to go Custom Jet Squelcher Bow or Charger? Because both of those have advantages on this map. Custom Jet Squelcher does a better job at painting, it has the first bomb, it has the lower Stingray cost. And while Black Belly, is a very long and flat map, it also is a lot smaller than you would think. And when the pushes can go from 120 extremely quickly, you need a very fast Stingray. And that's got to be the question that both Ruichar and the AU pickup are going to be asking themselves. Which one's better?
Oh, we're going to see a DC on the end of Ruichar almost immediately out of spawn. I literally saw the squid drop going into this. So I think that AU pickup will be just quickly capping here, and we'll get quickly into the next game. But before we start, let's talk about this comp here, because we saw Ruichar have the option to run that Sorella Brella, custom dually squelchers, Junior, and I believe that was a Nautilus that DC'd.
It is possible that it was the Nautilus that DC'd. Most likely they will stick with that in that case. We can't be 100% sure because that is the same weapon that they used last game. So there is a small possibility that they changed the weapon and the game didn't register it quick enough. On the side of the AU pickup, we saw Latias on the regular charger, so she will be going for the advantages of the splatter scope over the advantages of the custom jet squelcher, those being an actual usable bomb and longer range. We saw, I want to say they stuck with the Gal. I know they stuck with the Carbon, which I am quite frankly happy to see. I don't think we see enough Carbon.
Yeah, there was a Carbon last game as well too. It was, it's a pretty strong pick on these maps, so I do think it is the optimal pick for that AU pickup team to roll with. However, I'm gonna comment on the lack of a backline for Ruichar, which backlineless teams can work, as we've seen many top teams work with them, most notably ST Win and tournaments like Castle, but to see Ruichar kind of roll with this style is a little bit of a challenge when they have to fight that excessive range coming out from some AU pickup with that Nautilus and Charger combination, or in this case, Nautilus and custom Jet Squelcher. Especially when such a notable player like Latias is standing behind that range, it makes you wonder, how are they going to get in? How are they going to challenge that really, really strong range play?
That is the question. Speaking as a sniper, though, Nautilus is definitely more than capable of going toe-to-toe with Splatter Scope. Custom Jet Squelcher, it depends on how well the person running the Custom Jet Squelcher is. You can also increase Custom Jet Squelcher's range using MPU. That is popular on several builds. So with enough MPU, you can get the Jet Sculpture to the range of a Heavy, I believe, if not past that. And that could be just enough to help win those fights against the Charger. The other thing to keep in mind is that if the Charger misses, well, they're kind of dead.
Right. I don't think they're held to a rule if you have to play the same comp in a DC rule. I'm pretty sure that's a rule, but I'm not 100% sure.
I believe it is. In general,
I don't think they can switch comps either way. It'd just be really awkward,
Yeah, in general, I believe the only first time that's allowed for a comp switch is when somebody subs in for the person that DCs, but again, don't quote me on that, don't quote us on that.
We are not rules people, we are not tournament organizers.
We leave those to our lovely people behind the scenes here. But we do have one of them to us, and they say that we do have to go with the same comp. So we will be seeing those comps again.
Right. I kind of posed the question while we're waiting for the match to start up. What do you think we'll see from the AU pickup when it comes to pushing in on Rainmaker Blackbelly? Because while their comp does have a lot of range, it kind of leads to the question, what's their answer to break past that really fast offense of Ruichar? How, besides wiping them straight from the board, how are they going to create enough pressure to move in? What's your thoughts on this?
So the smart thing to do, or at least what I think the smart thing to do is to have the support player carry the Rainmaker, Latias today with that Stingray to counter Ray the custom Jet Sculpture as soon as their Ray comes out.
They don't have Ray.
Oh, they don't have Ray.
Yeah, their comp doesn't have Ray. That's why it's interesting to pose the question.
I'm trying to picture the comp in my mind.
On the end of Ruichar, it was Nautilus, CDS, Barella, Junior, and on the end of AU Pickup, it was CJS, Carbon Roller, Nautilus, +1. I think it was Tri-Slosher, don't quote me.
Doesn't the CJS have a Ray?
CJS. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, CJS is on AU Pickup. Ruichar doesn't have.
Okay. So, that's why I'm getting tripped up. Honestly, Bo, I would still have Latias stay back with the Stingray, because the Stingray can be very good at chasing people out of their entrenched positions on the map. So it would have the support player pop armor and grab, and then push up using a combination of the Carbon and the Stingray.
Alright, let's see how that theory shapes up moving into this match. Once again, Rainmaker on Blackbelly Skate Park, as we are going to see the comps. We've already discussed them coming out from each side. Jelly opting for that Brella, as I mentioned, he played it. Now we're going to see the teams rolling out in the mid. Pop is probably going to go to Ruichar, as I said. Quickly popped. Now let's see how AU Pickup can respond as one goes down on Ruichar. Great pick from, I believe that was Shockwave. Shockwave goes down.
Shockwave goes down, but 2 did go down on the side of Ruichar, and we see MJ picking up the Rainmaker, so one of the Slayers, which is interesting. It's not necessarily the move that I would have done, but looking at their comp closer, they do have 3 slaying weapons, so I guess if I were to pick one of them to pick it up, it would be the K-Shot. Run here right now, trying to push up and get a pick, unfortunately going down to MTJ, who has respawned from picking up that Rainmaker. Jelly's going to come out with the Bomb Rush to try and keep Paint on the right-hand side. Unfortunately, the Ray does take down his teammate who was carrying the Rainmaker, so that push will be going pretty much nowhere.
Yep, good job on the AU Pickup, pretty much stonewalling that push, making sure it can't go anywhere. We're going to see Jelly stuck into an awkward 2v1 situation here. Perks and Shockwave just creating a lot of pressure. We're going to see Latias take that Rainmaker and start to run it forward. They have the advantage here on points. They don't need to be too aggressive here, but we're going to see Latias finally go down at the mark of 60. Nothing too safe, nothing too shabby. And we're going to have now see AU Pickup kind of start to hold their own as Ruichar gets a lot of paint control here in the short amount of time. That fight on left side, we're going to see Jelly barely scratch a win out of that as Shockwave takes 1, maybe 2. He's looking for the second but can't find it. Rain does reset. Now it's going to go back to that pop, which I believe we can see AU Pickup win here as 2 go down on the side of Ruichar.
Yeah, Shockwave's pushing up with that Nautilus, trying to pick off the person who's gone to the left. He knows there's somewhere. He doesn't know exactly where. Perk's pushing up, unfortunately going down to a combination of the Inkjet and the Umbrella. That's a really good pick for Ruichar. Or as 3 go down on the side of the AU Pickup, leaving them enough time to get back into mid. The last one is going to go down as well, so a delayed wipe for the AU Pickup. But it's been a decent amount of time since the first 3 went down. People are already spawning in. The first is coming around behind, gets to a trade. Unfortunately, not able to get the Rainmaker, but MTJ is going to clean up and take down that Rainmaker to stop that push from going any further. Right, now it's AU Pickup's turn to try and make a response. MGJ putting those missiles out, creating that pressure that Ruichar has to deal with now. I think they're going to opt to let the Rain reset here and win the pop. We're going to see the bomb setting up. 2 go down on the end of AU Pickup, so now they're going to be forced to retreat. MGJ has the numbers advantage here. Ruichar has the numbers advantage here. They're starting to kind of push in, using that bomb rush, that Inkjet. Specials are coming together. We're going to see... hold up. There, maybe? Okay, yeah, we do see 1 go down on the side of the AU Pickup as Latias' Ray is only able to find 1 pick, 2 down on the side of Ruichar. They're just looking for a way to extend this push, get some extra points, maybe convert to a lead, as Perks is just jumping all over them. He is making sure that they have nowhere to run, nowhere to hide. And bombs are just flying out all over from Ruichar. AU Pickup in full function here now, taking a pick here on Brun, and they're in a 1-down situation. AU Pickup has the advantage here. Let's see what they're going to do with it. And this is still a very, very dangerous game, though. Neither team has pushed past 50 points. And as I say, that one gets to 49,
Yeah,
which is
scratch
not
that.
much better. But let's be completely real. That's not safe. That is beyond not safe. 2 do go down on the side. Make that 3 on the side for Ruichar. This push finally gets going to 28, which is much better, but not the best. First time we get another one.
Perks putting in work here. Ruichar is forced into a really awkward situation as the push finally gets into 14. I think we can finally call that safe territory for the AU pickups push as they're finally starting to go down. 3 down on the side of the AU pickup. Ruichar really starting to make their presence known in the mid, but there's only 30 seconds left in the game and they got a lot of distance to cover and not a lot of resources to do it looking at that special count.
Don't say it's safe yet, because this is Black Belly Rainmaker, and if there is one thing this map is notorious for, it is notorious for nothing being safe except the knockouts. 1 down on the side of Ruichar. Make that 2, but Perks goes down, who has been putting in a ton of work. Make that 2 down for the side of the AU pickup. Latias also has her Ray, so she's going to jump out and use it, but if she can't find somebody with it, that is going to be a problem. The missiles are out, the Stingray out as well, but the Rainmaker is still in mid, which has lots of space to dodge. Unfortunately, it looks like something got it. I don't know if it was a bomb or if it was a stray missile.
I believe it was the Ray. I believe the Ray got the final hit, but the missiles put him low whenever he was running away from them. But nonetheless, that is a pretty convincing win from the end of AU pickup. As we mentioned earlier, that Stingray ended up being the name of the game. Being able to close out those pushes and also benefit their own was just way too valuable a tool, and they did not pass up on it at all.
So now, here is where things start getting really dangerous for Ruichar. This is a best-of-5 set. AU pickup wins 1 more, they're through to the next round. Ruichar, well, Ruichar is going to have to try and make a loser's round. If they want something to stay in on the winner side of this bracket, they're going to have to make something happen starting on pump track splat zones. And I have the feeling that Latias might go E-leader here, which, if you're facing Latias, is pretty terrifying.
I will say though, Ruichar does have a little bit of a strong comp presence here though. That no backline comp is pretty infamous for being able to take over small maps like this and create lockout situations very quickly just by letting the opponents push into mid, taking them out quickly, recapping the zone, and just starting to hold them out from there out. So let's see if Ruichar can put that tried and true strategy to work here.
Yeah, these teams, even though AU Pickup has won quite handily on both of the maps, Ruichar hasn't exactly been lagging behind them. It's not like it's a complete washout stomp, go back to C-, is kind of beat down. Ruichar could definitely take the win here. I would love to see them pull out a Slosher somewhere. I don't know if any of them do play Slosher, but I would love to see it because Slosher is such a good weapon on this map.
I think Jelly can flex to Slosher, but he might be playing something like Try here for armor if they do opt to go double armor. But I agree, a Slosher would be a pretty interesting pick here. Additionally, maybe just something with a bomb rush to help control that platform. There's a lot of interesting options for this map, so it just really comes down to what Ruichar wants to do in terms of making momentum. But we're gonna get into that as this match starts. Game 3, Splat Zones on Humpback Pump Track for Ruichar in the yellow, some AU pickup in the blue. 2-0 situation. Ruichar has to make something happen here. They're not going to opt to switch up their comp too much besides revealing that K Jr. from the first game for Ruichar is probably going to utilize those bubbles very well. So we're going to see Latias use the E-leader as well as MGJ having the Gal and the Soda Slosher and Nautilus come from Shockwave, and I believe that is Perks respectively.
Yeah, looks like that is Perks. But there is something we need to point out. Ruichar has changed their comp drastically because they have a backline. Rui has finally busted out the charger, in this case a Firefin Splatter Scope.
Ryan, I kind of want to take a moment to comment that they have no armor as well. An amazing pick from Latias. Snipe all the way across the zone. Really accurate shot. Just very impressive looking as a whole. Creates just, presence, be known. Now, AU Pickup is able to kind of hold that zone. They don't really have much pushing in as that Storm and Burst Bomb Launcher are going to kind of work together. Bubbles coming out from the side of Ruichar, utilizing that trick from DK Jr. where it throws the torpedo into the bubble to try and pop it faster, but it's not going to be to any avail whatsoever. Bomb rush plus storm from Ruichar. They're really looking for that zone, but Perks is just putting out so much damage. It's really hard to get a hold on the zone. Can they hold on to it? They finally get that cap as 3 go down on the AU pickup, 2 going down on Ruichar, so it's not exactly just a lost cause. We're going to see what Ruichar can do here to even out that score.
Yeah, they have Latios in a good position right now. She is backed up. That will minimize how much damage they can do. Jelly's going to use that bomber to cap zone. Oh, he's also probably going to toss a couple over to the left where Shockwave Cave's landing was. Somebody else manages to get him. Latios manages to pick him off though just before that Brella shield can come up. So she is going to try and find another one of his teammates. Rain does come out as well as the ink armor from the AU pickup. So they're going to try and push in on this. It's a 4v4. So things are going to get pretty bloody pretty quickly. The burst bomb launcher does come out as well as the bubble blower. And 2 do go down on the side of the AU pickup, so that is going to make things interesting here.
Right, let's mention that CDS managed to flank up into their territory. It makes it very difficult for AU Pickup to come back now. Now that their territory is painted up, a clean shot from Latios getting rid of their charger, so that removes that backline pressure. Let's see what AU Pickup can do with that kind of advantage in their core. We're going to see that Inkjet come out. They are really looking to take out these members quickly, but AU Pickup is not letting themselves go too easily, even though there are 2 down the side. Ruichar has the advantage here, but it's not completely over yet. 3, 2, 1, and that is the game for Ruichar. Clean start to what could be a reverse sweep.
Ruichar needed to bring out the big guns, and they brought them out finally. I don't know what exactly it is changed. I don't want to say it is just the fact that Rui's walked onto Charger. But whatever happened, whatever got them in gear, the momentum has now shifted in their favor. This is doable for them still, and they can continue making things happen on Starfish main stage. However, I would expect to see Perks going back to that carbon on this one, and that could be pretty nasty for them.
Yeah, no kidding. The carbon charger combination for holding tower has just been surprisingly lethal, and it's going to be no secret here that they might be looking to abuse that again. You know, it's just something that they can take use of, and why wouldn't they in this situation? It's not like they have to win this exact game, but if there's any game for the AU Pickup to win, this is their strongest mode. This is their chance to take it.
Yeah, and Mega Mark Clan Blitz is probably not something they want to look forward to. Clan Blitz in general can heavily favor non-backline comps because it's such a fast-moving mode. And while Latias can be very aggressive with that charter as she was on Clan Blitz and Inkblock, I don't know how well she'll be able to do that on Mako. If anyone can do it, it's definitely her. But just the nature of the mode and how fast it swings back and forth, if I were on the AU pickup, I would not want to get to Clan Blitz Mako. Especially because not only that, getting to Mako means that you lose on Starfish main stage, and that's more momentum in the favor of Ruichar.
Well, all that aside, we're going to get into this match. Game 4 in round 1. Already a very intense set, but let's see how it goes into this tower control. Starfish main stage, the AU pickup versus for Ruichar. And we're going to see that Ruichar is keeping that charger as Latias, I believe, is opting for the vanilla charger as well. We're going to see pretty similar comps coming on both sides. Perks opting to stay on that Soda Slosher. Weird choice, but we're going to see how it pays out for him as both teams move into mid, and Latias starts it out with a pretty incredible pick.
Yeah, well, Latias, however, does go down though as Rui manages to make good use of that splash ball on the fire fin. Important distinction. Ruichar is using the fire fin. They are not using the vanilla. They have no stingray. What they do have though is missiles. And that could be enough to shut down a stingray if used properly.
Right, but Rui's having to fight off that Slosher. It's just pushing up from that platform. He doesn't really have a lot of room to work with here. Perks just trying to put it, but doesn't find it as Rui does find Perks instead. Very clean shot from him. As we're going to see one down on both sides. Makes you makes you kind of wonder where is the push going here, but the push seems to be kind of stopped right here at the 53 marker. Not exactly, oh, no, never mind, I'm biting my own words here as we're going to see the push pick back up. MGJ donning that tower, 2 going down on the side of Ruichar. That second checkpoint getting pretty cleanly cleared. Nothing here is going in the favor of Ruichar. AU Pickup has that download. They're starting to get the movement going. Can they finish out this game quickly as they get to this third checkpoint? MGJ is just pressuring that platform, and we're going to see the charger for Ruichar take a member of the AU Pickup as AU Pickup is finally going 3 down. I believe that is actually a delayed wipe as that push is going to be stopped right there.
It is a delayed wipe, but damage has been done. They have gotten to the third checkpoint and started to break it. And while there are 2 minutes left in the game, getting to that third checkpoint is notoriously difficult on this stage.
We're going to see Perk start to kind of take the lead here, but he's going to go down as Lottie starts working that Stingray. Let's see what she can get in terms of picks with it. Gets 2. Ruichar now 2 down as AU Pickup is in full force, moving that tower back to that third checkpoint. The slow crawl and sting, but they might make it through as Rui manages to take a couple shots, maybe get a pick as 2 go down on the side of AU Pickup. Shockwave holding that tower, just extending that push, making it harder for Ruichar to come back, as we're finally going to see 2 go down again on the side of the AU Pickup. I think this is a situation where Ruichar can get some specials and finally start to turn the momentum in their favor on this map.
Yeah, you can see Slacker right here pushing up really far into the AU Pickup side of the map. He's going to try and see if he can pick off Latias, because Latias is doing some serious damage on that snipe, and as I say that, it looks like she manages to shoot 1 or 2 of them. 3 down on the side of Ruichar, though. That's not good for them.
Perks is starting to take it back up, starting to push up, and as the armor comes out on the end of the AU Pickup, they're going to start using that burst bomb launcher, create some pressure, see if Ruichar can find an answer to it, as Jelly the Brella is going to be charging through Perks. Perks manages to get 2 incredible double to trade with, as we're going to see AU Pickup starting to push that even further. The missiles come out from the end of Ruichar.
Breathe, Frosty. We don't need you passing out on us because this match is not over yet. 1 down on the side of Ruichar, are 4 up on the side of the AU Pickup as they are going to try and get the push started again. Perks is pushing up really far. He's going to see if he can pick somebody. It looks like he's trying to go for the Charger, who has vanished off to somewhere.
Right, and that CDS was kind of just chilling out there. He was waiting for him to come back, but Perks is really starting to make some numbers happen. The Stingray coming out as well. It might look like they're going to take this push all the way, like 3 down on the end of Ruichar. Can they finish this push out? The third checkpoint. MGJ goes down on the tower. Rui holding on for dear life. Can he stop this push from happening? Are they going to clear the third checkpoint? The third checkpoint goes down. Rui is fighting desperately to get that tower goes, and he finally gets that trade, but Shockwave says it's not over yet.
And
they're trying to push in.
A wipe. An exclamation point to cap off that victory.
I can breathe now.
Please do. It creates a lot of paperwork if you pass out on us.
Oh my lord. Incredible show from the AU Pickup, pushing that tower all the way down to the knockout point. Like you said, an exclamation point onto this incredible set. Great show from Shockwave, Latias, and the group for just making generally amazing use of their tools. You saw that teamwork, how they pushed together. They didn't necessarily want anything to, stop their momentum, so they just kept it going. They kept that pressure up, and it was something that Ruichar just could not find an answer to, and if they had one, they didn't show it quickly enough, even with that switch to Charger.
Yeah, we are going to unfortunately have to take a little bit of a break because our time here is done. Top Gun, and I want to say, Band Kid will be coming in to take over for the rest of the commentating. So if y'all in chat, just give us a few short minutes. We will get that switch happening right now.
Hello, friends, and welcome back to SOS 18. I cannot believe there has been 18 of these things, but here we are at the 18th edition of Swim or Sink here at IPL. I am Pop Gun, joined on the mic tonight by the Band Kid. Band Kid, how are you doing tonight?
I am doing very well, thank you for asking, Pop Gun.
Great, that's just fantastic. We are going to be giving you guys round 2 of, I believe this is called the Great White Bracket, essentially top cut here at SOS 18. And we're going to be giving you guys semifinals of Sus with I don't think they could have found a creepier logo for their team picture right there. It's like Joker without the makeup, my goodness, versus Paragon, which is infinitely better of a logo, just a little guy wrapped in a blanket waving at us. I believe these are 2 pickup teams, but I know someone in chat is going to call me out on that and say they're projects or something else. But as we see his team start to ready up here, some usable faces. Looks like Madfish and Nolan on the side of Sus. Dylan, a solo queue monster on the gold Glugas coming out for Paragon here at Manta Maria Rainmaker.
Yes, I'm very excited to see the status we're starting out on Manta. We see Dylan over on the right side of the Manta, just marking around to hopefully try, get some pick. They do take down Nolan, though, with the pro. Dylan is kind of in a top spot right now, but they do got armor, they're a wall, they're protected for a little bit. They're really just, trying to make sure that they stay alive.
Interestingly enough, we don't see any Stingrays coming out for either team. Instead, Madfish opting to go with the Firefin Charger. Getting some nice picks there. But Firefin or Stingrays not going to be needed here as Madfish picks up the Rainmaker, going to take it over the Kutch. There is one player left alive that isn't in spawn, and it doesn't matter. They don't get there just in time. Dylan sneaking around the side and taking down the Rainmaker. One other player going down for the side of Sus as well as Dylan starts to take control of their plat. So it looks like the push is done there. But the question is going to be, can Paragon get the Rainmaker, get control of mid where the Rainmaker is going to reset, or is just Sus going to pick it right back up again and continue where they left off?
Yes, for sure right now. Paragon right now is just trying to get back in, but Sus is not letting them back in. Right now we see IPS falling down to Mob the Inkjet. We see now over here by Mob, they are trying to play a little passively for Gizek, but hopefully they can get some picks in for their team very soon. Right now they're being pressured by Nolan's a pro. Now they're backing up a little bit, as they should. I mean, it's Nolan pro, so who wouldn't be scared?
We saw Dylan going down there. It was we had a little bit of a stalemate there where Paragon was just kind of focusing on getting control of mid, and it looks like they have full control of it now as they pick up the Rainmaker. I don't really have any specials to work with here. We see Dylan coming back in, but they are going to get lead as they go over the cut there. And they don't fall down completely, and they do basically get wiped there, but they do get lead. It's not a lead that they should feel comfortable with necessarily, because all they got to do is grab the Rainmaker and drop it down to that little like pit area, and that'll be enough to get them lead. But still, as we just crossed the halfway point here, that's the only push Paragon has been able to pull out so far, and it's got enough to get them a lead.
Yeah, right now we see 41, I believe, right now, just like, trying to get paint. Well, IPS is getting very much pressured by Dylan. IPS at this point, just like, trying to get a run for it. They do push up just a bit more, but sadly not enough to get lead.
Well, Paragon's not feeling sad about that at all. That's a very nice stop. Just 1 point away. So, and it looks like they've completely shut down this push. The Rainmaker will reset unless somebody flanks around the cut over there. We see Mob pushing some guys back. So, another opportunity once again, just trying to get control of mid. The armor you see coming out. Mob popping the Rainmaker, starting to push up, pushing pushing Sus back. And this is, you know, if you got the lead like Paragon does, this is exactly what you need to do. You don't need to turtle up and play defense. You need to be aggressive here. And Inkjet getting popped up, going to force Madfish back. And another player going down in the street, but 2 players go down for the side of Paragon. But I like the aggression. You know, they're not comfortable with the 39-point lead. They want to add to it and keep the Rainmaker on Sus's side of the map.
Yes, you know, right now, I mean, it's Monta Rainmaker. You never, the only time you're safe with the lead, you know, is whenever you knock it out. So right now, this is very well done from Paragon, trying to keep them defensively, you know, making sure that they have paint on the map. But right now, IPS is jumping back rightfully so as they're getting pressured by Dylan once again. Dylan's all over the place right now. So yeah, right now, Paragon is trying to push up, get more of a lead, because once we say, you know, Monster Rainmaker, it's not good.
Yeah, 30 seconds to go here. Dylan being just an annoying little fly there. Somehow gets a cheeky fall-off kill and still isn't dead. Just being extremely annoying in the enemy street right here as the Rainmaker is going to reset. So Paragon in the opportunity, well, they actually opt to pick it up and just kind of hold on to it. And why not? The enemy doesn't have a Stingray that they get a pick with. And Madfish somehow gets a pick right there on the Rainmaker, standing in their own ink wall, but nobody else is there to follow it up. They can just pop it, pick it up, or just let the time run out. Either way, game 1 is going to go to Paragon here in this best-of-5 semifinal set.
Yeah, that game, you know, like, it was kind of like a little all over the place. I mean, it's Rainmaker, and it's just like, with Rainmaker, on majority of maps, you never can really be safe with your lead. As we saw there, Sus got a pretty good first push, but then Paragon came back, said, no, we're going to get a better lead and take the lead. Obviously, it's not safe because it's Rainmaker. But then Sus is like, no, we're going to try and take that back. But then Paragon rightfully defends it really well by just, I believe, 1 point. So yeah, that was a very close game that we saw for only a first game in this best-of-5 set.
Mob for Paragon popping off there with 18 or 16 KA with the Octo Shot. I have never heard of a player named Mob, so I looked at their battle file. That is actually Nico, Nico, a regular here in this stage of SOS. In fact, all these players, even though this is a pickup team, we're kind of used to seeing these players make deep runs into this tournament. Obviously, we talked about Nolan and Madfish, IPS won on the side of Sus. Dylan, we've seen make top cut before. I don't think Dylan's ever won this tournament. Maybe for one of the ones that I didn't commentate, but I remember, yeah, these players. You know, this is a couple of pickup teams, obviously, and I think the whole grand finals might be a pickup versus yeah, I think we're just got nothing but pickup teams left in this tournament here. But these players as a whole, as we start splat zones at Skipper Pavilion, all these players are familiar with this territory of the tournament.
Yeah, so right now, as we just are seeing right now, we're on Skipper zones. This is going to be really interesting because the zone, you know, like the zone is really stubborn, or it could also not be stubborn, you know, it's kind of just like, you know, all over the place. But right now we see Juan getting taken down by Mob's Inkjet, and then we see right now, you know, they pop back, and then Nolan just randomly pops over here, it's like, no, I'm going to camp your jump, and then Dylan comes up with Baller and says I'm going to get revenge, and for right now, Dylan may die, Dylan may not die, we never know. But they did take down Juan once again.
somehow, oh, actually, that was a trade with Madfish. Very nice. But Paragon creating a bit of a lockout situation here as we see some players starting to spawn in from Sus, and they come down from mid, and it's enough to cap zone. So things kind of neutral out here. Paragon lost control of zone, but they're not really going anywhere. Well, now they're going to have to as 2 players immediately go down. So Sus in their first little situation here to create a lockout. And they got some specials to work with to help them out, too. They got Rain ready on the CDS. They got Suction Bomb Rush on the Fire Fin. And points are just kind of ticking away, and they're just kind of daring the Paragon players to come down here, who appear to be building up specials of their own. We see Inkjet, Baller, Armor getting popped now, as well as Missiles. So here comes everything and the kitchen sink from Paragon, who does take down Madfish before they can launch their special. Dylan coming in and doing just enough to get control of zone themselves. So zone flipping right back, but I don't think they've cleared out all these players just yet from Sus.
Yeah, right now, as we see, Dylan actually falls down to Juan's CDS, which is going to be a very good pointer for Sus to try and make sure that they keep that lead, get even more of a lead on from Paragon. But right now, we just see that they're kind of grouped up together, which they should. You know, they got Dylan. This is going to be hard for Sus to keep it, but it's very much possible if they can, if they just keep on getting as many picks as possible.
Yeah, last time we saw Paragon be able to get back in using all their specials, and we see them doing just that. But taking down Dylan, even though they get a trade with the Junior, and a very nice pick there by the Bamboo. So 2 players down for the side of Sus. That should, in theory, be enough to give them control of zone. And eventually, it does, as we see 41 immediately turn right back around. What a nice pick there by Madfish to kind of clear out the zone. So 2 players down. And once again, a lot of penalty points to chew through, but it just seems like Sus is doing a better job of creating and holding on to the zone whenever they get it. Obviously, we're going to see Paragon once again build up all their specials and go in all at once with the missiles coming out just here, 1 player going down, Inkjet coming out as well. And these special pushes that Paragon is doing is enough to get control of zone, but every time they do, it seems like they just immediately give it right back up as we see Juan getting a pick, but Juan eventually getting taken down here. So this might be Paragon's first true chance to get some points, but they got to hold on to this for a good chunk of time.
Yes, right now, if I were Paragon, I'd be very excited right now. But sadly, Dylan, right now just did not put up their wall fast enough, and got sniped by Madfish right now, pulled out the Clutcher Launcher, and they just about take it, and now Madfish is in top mid, trying to keep pressure on everyone that's trying to be coming in.
You know, at this point, if I'm Paragon, I'm probably thinking, we can get zone anytime we want, but we're not doing enough to hold on to it. I'm almost going to feel like they should try to use these specials just to avoid, well, actually, they can avoid the zone now. All the penalty points are gone. Yeah, now they kind of got to rush and feed into the Booyah Bomb there, and that should give this game back to Sus, who ties up this set 1-1. So yeah, just Sus just did a better job of holding on to the zone. Paragon could take back zone anytime they wanted, basically, but the lack of ability to control the zone once they burned up all their specials to get it just ultimately did them in there.
Yeah, you know, like, I was honestly kind of thinking of a bit closer set, because, like, Skipper zones, you know, like, the zones on Skipper is very stubborn. Like, sometimes, you know, it'll be like, oh yeah, have this zone for free, you know, you get to take this zone, have fun with it. But then sometimes it's like, no, I think I'll stay neutral for now. But yeah, that was like that was really well done on Sus and Paragon. And if I'm being honest, that just like, it kind of makes this set like unpredictable, because like, first we see Paragon in the first game of best of 5, right? They defend well, but then in the second game for Splat zones, they don't do well defending. So like right now, you know, it's just, they're going to be like, you know, analyzing each other as much as they can.
Well, controlling parts of the map on Skipper Pavilion's a little bit awkward compared to controlling a map on something more linear like Manta Maria, especially a linear map here like Sturgeon Shipyard, as we see the teams coming back out. Once again, Bamboo on the side of Paragon, Madfish. Interestingly enough, we usually see Firefin getting used a lot more for tower control, but Madfish coming out here with the traditional classic vanilla charger with Stingray, as we see 2 players immediately go down for Paragon. Nolan trying to find a way to push up so that they can create space for this tower, opting to go for the spinner up into the snipe. The slow awkwardly slides down, ultimately gets up there, and Stingray going to come to support. Missiles are going to chase IPS, I believe, away from the tower for a little bit. And oh, I thought they fell down here. That was a little awkward jank, but they stay alive and get past the checkpoint nonetheless.
Yeah, right now, Paragon, they got to take back their defending skills that they had during game one. Right now, Billy has their armor ready to pop at any second, but right now they're just trying to get their turf back. But Billy pops in armor, which is going to be very helpful for them whenever they're pushing up. But sadly, the T-Tac on the side of Paragon just falls down even with the armor, and Billy just about to take out one, and then just about to take off, I believe they're Nolan, but Nolan just about gets away in time.
Yeah, even though Paragon got the pick there from Billy, they didn't seem too eager to try to push up, as we see Juan kind of punishing that, getting a double, almost a triple, as Mob somehow survives long enough but gets taken down by Nolan. So yeah, just kind of the lack of feeling comfortable about pushing up just kind of bought more time for Sus to get everything they needed to get past this second checkpoint, which is a very critical checkpoint to get past, and now there's nothing in the way from Sus from getting this KO, but two players going down. Somehow Madfish taking down Dylan there. I don't really understand that. Maybe ran into an ink wall or just got a nice shot. But nonetheless, another opportunity where Paragon needs to push up here as they have the man advantage. Dylan hopping back in, getting a trade. But even though they lose the tower, the majority of this map is still purple, and that is exactly what Sus is wanting to do.
Yes, that's gonna be very helpful with them later on in the game. Whenever Paragon is eventually, hopefully, going to try and get a push on them right now. But Billy just about takes down IPS from Sus, and if Billy takes down Matt Fish once again, and which means that this is going to be a very good opportunity for them to push up, as that's a delayed wipe on the side of Sus. This is a very good pushing opportunity for Paragon that we're about to see in the next few minutes.
Yeah, you don't have to get the lead right here. Getting past this first checkpoint would be very critical. And it looks like they are going to do just that. Billy just kind of looking around for more spots to paint just to make sure everything's nice and yellow. Ray coming out here, and we do see Mob going down. And it doesn't look like they'll be able to do much more out of this push, but it doesn't matter. Mission accomplished. They cleared the first checkpoint, and now actually two players are down for the side of Sus. So we see Madfish doing everything they can just to kind of slow down this push, keep them from getting to that second checkpoint, getting a nice pick on the bamboo, and just delaying this player that's over here at the sponge until help can come in and they take that down. So a nice defense there by Sus. But once again, for Paragon, it took you 2.5 or 3.5 minutes to get a push going. You cleared the first checkpoint, so mission accomplished. But you got to make another push here in the next minute or so. And with the opportunities that Sus has been giving them, it hasn't been a whole lot, to be honest, so far in this game.
Yeah, right now we see IPS just covering so they could hopefully get a comeback push so the tower can get just further away from the lead that Paragon needs as possible. But sadly, that does not work for them, as they're as Madfish, the only one alive right now, just trying to defend as much as possible. Dylan jumps back, which is going to be it's going to get him out of a icky situation over there. But Dylan over here just being a nuisance as he was from the first game, taking down some of the baller, and then Nolan's just like, no, that's the end of your game. That's the end of your reign today.
And more importantly, Sus does have the GG Ray. And firing it right now, actually. So this raid's going to end with some time on the clock. Does get a pick, but the Tri-Slasher goes down for Sus. And there still are some players on the tower as Nolan's just kind of raining down here. Two players make that. Madfish being the last player left alive, but getting chased down by Mob. Awkwardly falls down. It can't jump out. Can't afford to. It's going to have to try to make a hero play as other players jump in from the tower. Mob cleaning them up, though. And it looks like... I don't think they got lead off of that. I don't think they got lead. I think Nolan hopped on in the end. No, they held on. Sus somehow threw enough bodies at the right time to slide onto the tower and hold on. Nolan was 17 KA, none bigger than the one in the final frame of the game that knocked off the player riding the tower, giving the game to Sus in the 2-1 lead in the set.
I don't even know what to say anymore. Whenever I say that this set is now unpredictable beyond belief, I mean it.
we saw Paragon in the first game. They did well defending. And then we see Skipper, Sus just completely says no. And then in the third game, we see Paragon about to take lead. But then Sus finally just says no. And they just put all their forces on tower. And they take the win. This is going to be very hard for Paragon. But, oh my god, I can't even think right now.
Well, that was the Madfish there made a really great play. They accidentally fell down by the sponge, or maybe they that's where they wanted to be, but regardless, they were in a tough spot, drowning in enemy ink, but they didn't jump out. They realized they had to stay there because jumping out was just going to take them away from the game. They stayed there. They soaked up enough attention to keep everybody else away from the tower, and that just gave enough time for everybody else on the side of Sus to come back in, get the lead, or hold on to the lead by just frames, and now we're heading to Piranha Pit's Clam Blitz. As we look at the comps here, nothing really significantly changed, although we do see a double bamboo coming out here, so no more charger, no more splatters charger, I should say, from Sus's Madfish, but as we do see one player going down, Paragon starting to push up here. And this is what we didn't really see a lot of last game. We didn't really see a lot of aggression, a lot of realizing, hey, we have the man advantage, so let's go. They're going to need to do that here if they want to find a way to even up this set at 2 apiece.
Yeah, right now this is going to be a very, just like confusing set. I mean, it's Piranha Clam Blitz. This is going to be very hard. It's already a 3 down on the side of Paragon. This could be an opportunity for a wipe if the bamboo on the side of Paragon does not back up. But IPS right now at 9 clams, they could get Sus could get a push off this with the 3 that was down earlier. We see IPS right now just putting as much pain as possible so they can get in. They do throw in the clam. 3 down side of Sus, 2 down side of Paragon. That may be the end of the lead. So not that strong of a push, but it's Sus, we don't know what could happen.
Well, yeah, they didn't really, all they got was 20 points out of it, which is what you don't want out of your first push. More so, they lost 3 players in the process, so they give control of mid to Paragon, who now has a huge opportunity to make something happen. You got to capitalize off of this. 2 players down. They've blown up a lot of clams. They have some missiles ready to go as well, and it looks like they're just waiting for the all clear before they go in there, taking down Madfish, and this is going to be a massive push for Paragon. They get right at 50, and they do have a nice pincer on Nolan there to keep this set going a little bit longer. Players having a hard time knocking out all those yellow Paragon players, and they're still not down completely. However, they are starting to run out of clams, but this power clam jumping in here. What a roll by the CDS to stay alive. I believe that's Dylan on the CDS, dodging a few shots and throwing the power clam in there, and they do have enough clams to put this game away, and they find a way to get those final 2 in. What a response by Paragon. 0 to 100 real quick and tying up this set, and we're going to a decisive game 5.
I don't know what to say. That game, it was confusing. Like, first we see Sus, 3 down inside of Paragon. This is going to be a good push. They get 3 down. Maybe not. Then Paragon comes back and then knocks it out. This game 5 is going to be... I don't even know what to say. Like, this game 5 is going to be crazy.
Well, what kind of opened the door for that push was the fact that Sus went in and they popped the basket. It didn't have anything to follow up with it and lost 3 players in the process. So them kind of scoring almost backfired on them because it gave control of mid to Paragon. It gave them some clams to work with, and then they just got 2 picks, and it was good night from there. But yeah, we're going into a decisive game 5 here at Anchovy Games Rainmaker. And I guess the question is going to be, we didn't see any Stingrays coming out from either team last time, as we see the team start to ready up here. Some game 5 hype. And we still don't see a Stingray, but once again, the Firefin coming out from Madfish. So a bomb rush. And just the same kind of comp that we've seen out of Paragon out to this point. And the question is just going to be, who is going to punish the one mistake the other team is going to make that's going to end this game?
Yeah, this is this it's Rainmaker as we saw before in game 1. This is going to be repeat. Is it going to be something completely different? It's going to be a knockout. That's going to be crazy. But right now we see IPS just kind of just floating around the map right now. Going to get some paint down, because right now in the beginning of the game, that's one of the crucial parts. Just getting paint down on the map, getting picks, and then finally being able to be the one that pops that first push. But then we see right now Nolan takes it down so much from the side of Paragon, pops their Booyah Bomb, which means that this could be a good opening push for Sus if they play it right.
It took 45 seconds for somebody to get a kill in this game. That shows how both teams, I think, are kind of rattled how the last 2 games ended in kind of dramatic fashion both times. And neither team wants to make the one mistake on Rainmaker, and I don't know how you survive that Splat Bomb, but they do here. So yeah, both teams playing very passively now. But now that the picks are starting to fly and the punches are coming out, we're seeing a little bit more aggression coming out, and they're opting to take it the interesting way on the right there. But they do have some honestly, they do have some players in position, and instead they land into the office and go streaming down at 50 points remaining and have an opportunity to get a little bit more. Look at them sliding their way down there. 40 points remaining. That is a very nice push. They kind of faked going through the fan and instead cut up through the wall. Back down to the little window there and just got a lot of points out of it. So a very, very nice architecturally designed push there that gets them down to 40 points remaining. That's a huge score.
Yeah, this is going to be very one-sided a little for Paragon right now. But we see right now that Sus is just trying to get a way in to the opposing team's side, getting up that wall, whatever they need to do. IPS being a little isolated right now. I mean, this is a very good, just easy pick on the side of Paragon if they finally see that. But Dylan comes in once again, being the little, since he is, he comes up, takes out IPS, takes out Nolan, and then just about takes out them, but they sadly jump away from his clutches.
Yeah, another opportunity to get put the Rainmaker on the enemy side of the map. Oh, a little bit of a couple of nice picks here, and it looks like Sus is going to get control of things. We see them pop the Rainmaker, starting to push out the mid, get things back in the purple, and there's still plenty of time. Obviously, there's 2 minutes, 40 points remaining. That's a good score on this map, but it's obviously not one you should feel completely comfortable with. Again, just a bad 5 seconds could flip this game, but Mob, also aka Nico, doing a really good job of staying alive here, getting some picks and holding on to that Inkjet. And there's really nowhere for this Rainmaker to go just yet. They need players to jump back in, find a way to get up that fan, get some picks. We do see Inkjet coming out. No bomb rushes coming out from the side of Madfish just yet, and this ultimately just waiting a little bit too long and nothing happening there. And Paragon doing a good job of swarming on in, and the clock just keeps ticking away.
Yeah, we're only approaching about a minute left into this game, and right now it's kind of leaning inside of Paragon, but it's Sus, you never know. Right now we see IPS fighting, I believe that was their bamboo, and just about falling to them. We see Nolan falling down to be getting double team. In fact, IPS right now just trying to stay alive, do as much as they can for their team.
Yeah, another good push there, getting the score down to just 29 remaining, so adding to their lead, giving a little bit of insurance that they can hold on to win this one. And if you're Sus, you don't really have a whole lot of time left to work with. You can't really do like a staggered push where you go a little bit, die, pop it, and keep it going. It's almost to the point now, especially now as the Rainmaker dies and Nolan's the last one. This is looking kind of grim if you're Sus, but Nolan doing a good job throwing down the ink wall, just kind of spraying down there, getting the baller, popping it now. I wonder if they know where Dylan is, Nolan is. We certainly don't, but all the players are spawning back in here. They're going to have to rush onto the Rainmaker. And with 2 players down, I still don't think it's going to be enough to pop it and pick it up, and they do not. Paragon bounces back after being down 2-1 and losing that tower control game in heartbreaking fashion. Digs in deep here to win the set, 3-2 against Sus.
Yes, that game, Sus, like, they wanted to get in. They wanted to get in the grand finals as much as possible. Like, as we saw in the first game on Rainmaker, no one had a Ray. And it's GG Ray, Ray plus Rainmaker, kind of a match made in heaven. So we didn't see that there. But then in the third game with tower control, another Ray mode, we see, I believe that was, I'm having, what is it? I don't remember their name, but I think that their name doesn't matter, something in it. But they put out the scope, the B scope, and if I'm being honest, that helped them a lot in that game. And then we just saw just then, no race, but it was a bit more even. So that set was definitely like they knew each other. They were like looking what they did. They tried to find cracks, but it looks like Paragon just about did it.
And that is not the end of the tournament for Sus. They are moving on to play some AU pickup team for the third place of this Great White, aka Top Cut bracket here. We are going to be moving on to Grand Finals, which is going to be Paragon, the team you just saw play, taking on Friends. You know what? We don't need a break. Let's just stick in this lobby and let's just keep talking and get this one going here. It's a school night. We, some of us have to work in the morning. Some of you should be doing homework right now, I'm pretty sure. Some of you might be laying in bed right now, just watching the stream. You knew, hey, Popgun's commentating tonight. That guy can put me to sleep for sure. Wherever you are right now, whatever it is that you're doing, we appreciate you taking the time out of your evening to watch this. We appreciate the views, not just for our organization, our tournament here, but just the fact that you are putting views on this game that we love, Splatoon 2 in general, helping the entire community out and giving us even more exposure. Helps all of us from the top to the bottom of that lovely competitive pyramid that we all are a part of here. And I think we're just gonna. I can't really see the room. I don't know. I assume the players are readying it up or not. But we're gonna be giving you guys Paragon versus Friends. By the way, sources in chat tell me Paragon is not a pickup, but in fact an actual team. That is just using a sub. So in my book, if you have 3 players and 1 sub, you are the actual team. So, but taking on Friends here. Friends is, it's I don't know, pickup project, whatever the kids are calling it nowadays. It's a team we are used to seeing. We are used to seeing Friends in general. I believe this is the same lineup that won Testing Grounds. Testing round 10, I believe. No, testing round 10 is this week. I believe it's testing round 9. I'll double check that real quick. But once again, another set of players that are used to this stage in IPL tournaments. Yes.
Yeah, we see Friends a lot. Friends are, they're pretty common here. You could say it's a project, but at the same time, you don't know. Call it what you will. But, see, going up with Friends, and then we got Paragon. This is going to be, a pretty worthwhile set, if you ask me.
I'm getting some information from the players that are actually going to be playing in this grand finals are in chat right now, talking to the commentators and giving us information. Why don't we just get you guys in a VC after each game, and you can just kind of break down what's going on here and all the action. Close the stream and get in the lobby. Let's get this set going here. First game is going to be tower control at Manta Maria. The question is Isaac going to be busting out the blob obbler? And the answer is going to be yes. I would assume. We saw nothing but blob last time Friends was in testing grounds.
That would be pretty interesting to see, if you ask me. We see finally some good old blob clout that would be pretty interesting to see, as we are now going to be loading in onto Tower Control Monster Maria. We were just here last round, in fact, but yeah, this is going to be interesting as we see 41 playing out a Bamboo. We sadly do not see a Brawl Lobber.
Well,
Really
Isaac
funny.
isn't. Isaac's being subbed out by Q, the Charger, so that would explain why they're in chat. Okay, that makes sense. That I can let slide. As we see Paragon starting to push up here, both teams just trying to get control mid. Armor coming out, an early Stingray from a Splat Charger. Is that really a Sea-Jet in the skies? I didn't know you're allowed to get Stingray that fast. As we see Dylan going down there, Mob kind of stuck up in their bunker there. We see Bless trying to push up here, trying to take down that Jet as soon as it lands and is in a really good position. Did they time the suction bomb just right? It looks like they did. But Bless finding themselves being the last player left alive. So this is going to be a good opportunity for Paragon to get a push going. And honestly, I don't think they realized Bless is still sharking in their bunker there.
Yeah, that's gonna be a pretty crazy thing that they're gonna realize eventually. Like, oh crap, yeah, someone's talking to the bunker. We have to deal with that now. But yeah, right now we see Dylan trading with EP. Dylan is just like, he loves being all over the place, so that's gonna be fun. We also see I believe that is Party Ice falling down to Mob's Burst Bomb. That's pretty interesting. And we also see Kiki just standing on the grate of mid, just trying to get a scope out of the map.
Yeah, here's a situation here where friends can try to get something going, and as soon as I say that, the Tri-Slosher goes down. So Paragon, well, yeah, 3 players going down, so that'll just completely stall the push right now, and Paragon in another opportunity to try to get past that second checkpoint. That second checkpoint really difficult to get past, very critical one to get past as well. And a very nice response here by friends, jumping right back in, taking down Dylan, not really giving up any ground. They do give up mid, but Legend here on the Tri-Slosher doing a very good job so far in this game. 8 KAs of just keeping friends in this one. A very nice flank here. 2 players going down, finding a way to take down this Bamboo, who's extremely uncomfortable and gets that pick. So 2 players down here, and this is Friends' first legit opportunity to make something happen, as we see all the Paragon players forced to retreat, sacrifice this first checkpoint, but now can they hold on to the second one here, the most critical one in the game?
Yeah, this is going to be a very crucial part, or just, asset to Friends later on in the game. Even though we're about 3 minutes into the game right now, this is going to be important for them, You got to take baby steps here. So right now we see Kihu right now just on tower, getting rushed by Billy right now, sadly. 2 down on the side of Friends. This is going to be hard for Friends to come back.
Yeah, I believe that's Q. Yeah, I guess, yeah, He-Who, I guess that is how those words are. Hey, they put it in their name. At least they're not Dunkachino this time around, so we can actually tell who they are. 1 player going down for the side of Paragon. Friends looking to push up. They didn't get lead, obviously, in their last push, but more importantly, they did clear that first checkpoint, which makes this next minute and a half a little bit easier for them. And in fact, they don't even need to clear the second checkpoint to get lead. They just got to get about halfway through it. And Bless, who's just been basically riding that wall the entire game that we've seen with that K-Shot, doing a good job of controlling the enemy bunker. And here we go. Here's your first legit opportunity at a lead change, as Missile's going to be coming out. 1 player flanking around from the left side there, as Legend hops up and over, clearing out that area, but it has to hop back onto the tower. Gets taken down. It's a 2v2, and it looks like, it's just gonna be 1 player left, and Q can't get on the tower. But still, 45 seconds remaining. The tower is on the side of Paragon's map, and the entire map is looking very purple. So this is gonna be a hard one to hold on to for Paragon.
Yeah, right now, it looked hard for Friends, but now it looks like they're very much capable of doing it. You have 30 seconds left, so they just gotta get some picks, get some turf down, and push up. We do see Q, whoever you want to call, call them right now, they got a GG rate, which I believe they just popped. That's going to be very helpful for Friends in the next 10 seconds to getting the final opportunity they can to take lead, as they're only 2 counters away from lead as we're approaching the last about 5 seconds.
Yeah, and only one player left alive, and it's going to be a 1v4 situation. It's not going to be enough. Team Paragon says, thanks guys for vouching me for game 1. Not going to let you down, and they get the win here in this best of 7 set. As we move on to game 2 here, look at the KA's kind of low across the board there. 14 for Legend, 13 for the Inzappa Billy. So nobody really popping off. Things looking kind of even there, and it's very even game across the board. If you're hoping that this set goes to 7 games, and you're just looking to stay up all night, well, looking at how close that first game was, it looks like we're in for a promising set here.
Yes, I mean, if anything, seeing that there was no pop-offs, that's kind of good for us, because, like, us, like the spectators right now, just watching the game coming out, that just means it's going to be a more interesting set, No pop-offs, that's going to be pretty even, hopefully. So, we're just going to, be seeing some pretty even games here. Hopefully we do get to see all 7 games, but if they do not, that's also fine. But 7 games, that's going to be pretty cool to see.
And thank you to an anonymous gifter for gifting 10 tier 1 subs to the IPL Splatoon community. Band Kid, I know that was you. Don't try.
How did you catch me?
Well, I mean, who else would go out of the way to do just that? So thank you to whoever did that. Thank you for supporting the stream, supporting Splatoon 2 in general, the competitive scene across the board. We're heading into Rainmaker at Maid Stage. We are in grand finals of the Great White bracket, aka Top Cut, Alpha Bracket, Knockout Stage, whatever you want to call this thing. This is the grand poobah of the entire tournament. Paragon currently up 1-0 in this best of 7, and if the last game or the last set will tell us anything, we're not going to see any Stingrays here unless Q decides to bust one out. And no, sticking like Madfish, going to stick with the Firefin. So Stingray officially no longer a part of the Rainmaker meta here in North America, at least.
Hopefully, anyways. Right now we see Q, Hiku, whoever. We see them right now, trying to play it safe, but also trying to, get as many picks as possible. I mean, it's sniper, it's a little hard, but, right hands, that's a nuisance for everyone, even on your same team. So, yeah. Right now we see Mob popping Jed trying to take back mid. Mid right now, just battleground to hope to see, whoever can take over first. But right now, his friends is trying to push in as best as possible. They 2 downside of friends, so this is going to be kind of hard for friends to get a good opening push.
That was a sneakily huge kill there by Mob with the L3 in the pit area there, because if they had gone down, it would have been a 1v4 situation with the Rainmaker in the hands of Friends. Instead, gets a pick and stays alive, and that basically stalls this push by Friends. They do eventually get to 57 remaining. Hard Eyes building up an Inkjet here. Double Inkjet comp coming out by Friends. If they can find a way to take down the Dylan there. Instead, Dylan says, nah, bro, we're taking you down. Ultimately ending the push there. So, once again, the fact that they only got 57 points there, give credit to Nico, a.k.a. Mob, for that kind of stellar 1v1 kill there at the pit that kind of stalled everything out.
Yeah, right now we see Blessed and I'm not sure who else that was, but they were pretty pushed up. But it looks like 41 takes them down. That's going to be a good opening, but not push, just a good push in general for Paragon. But sadly, that does not happen, as there's actually a wipe on side of Paragon, meaning that if anything, it's going to be a good push for Friends pushing up. And then we see Q just like pushing up and just like, no, I'm gonna be aggro. We're gonna get a lead here.
Yeah, that's another advantage of the Fire Fin, is that you can kind of push up with it with that wall. Obviously, bomb rush in your own base is never a good thing that you want to see. But honestly, it's kind of amazing they didn't get more than 32 points remaining there, as they do kind of stall this push. Dylan taking the Rainmaker up and just getting it out of there. That could have been a lot worse. When the enemy charger is pushed up in your base and you only have 32 remaining out of that push, that's in my book, that's a win for Paragon. But with 2 minutes left to go here, there's no real need to rush. But and with 2 players going down, it doesn't look like they're going to get a whole heck of a lot out of this push in general. But it looks like they are just kind of opting to paint up the map, get a little bit of yellow on the board, so that they can try to get a push going a little bit down the road without having to lose too many players.
Yeah, right now we see Paragon just trying to play defensively, get some picks off whenever they can. Right now they got to play it a little safe with their pushes. I mean, we only have about a minute 40 left into the game. This is going to be hard for Paragon to come back, but it's very much possible. It's Rainmaker. You never know.
Yeah, and it's going to be easier for them to come back if they can get a push going now rather than later. Again, that if they can get stuff going now, they don't have to rely on hitting a home run and getting the lead all in one swoop. They can just kind of rush in, possibly die, pop it again, and just kind of like rugby style their way down the court there to try to get the lead. But Friends doing a really good job of not giving them anything. Legend taking down one player, getting up in the enemy snipe, getting a trade. That's actually a decent trade on for 41. But look how purple this map is right now. If Paragon wants to get a push going, Friends is not doing anything to help them out with that.
Yes, right now Friends is like, no, you're not going to be getting a push on us. No, you're not going to take another game in this, okay? This is our game. We only got 40 seconds left. We got a 32 lead on you right now. This is our game, not yours. Right now, because speaking of which, we have 2 down, 1 down now on the side of Paragon. I mean, and this could possibly be a knockout, but it looks like Rainmaker paused, meaning that it's going to be a tiny bit harder for Friends to get a knockout. But never mind, that's why. That's going to be pretty easy, as they're just knocking out right now.
One of the few maps where you can basically get into the spawn of the enemy team, and once that kind of happens in any scenario, it's basically over there, as we see Legend pushing all the way up to the enemy base with the Tri-Slosher and doing just enough for Friends to get the KO. A very long KO in a game that wasn't as close as the last game that we saw, but a game that Friends needed to win to even up this set at 1 apiece once again. Yes, this is in fact Grand Finals. Yes, it is a best of 7, and so far we are at least guaranteed a Game 5, but we're going to be going to Humpback Hump Track Splat Zones coming up next in Game 3. My goodness, who is this mystery subscriber just making it rain in chat like after every single game? What is going on here?
It's not me, I promise.
And how come I keep getting missed from the mystery subscriber? Like, how unlucky am I gotta be? Hey, keep donating mystery gifts until I get it, please, and thank you. I would much appreciate it.
Yes, that'd be great. You know, maybe you give back to us. You know, that'd be great. We would love to have the such.
Anyways, Splat Zones at Humpback. I think we're gonna see Firefin come back out here. Well, I mean, honestly, for the side of for Paragon, I don't think we've seen like hardly any changes at all. It's been mostly L3, Galugas, Bamboo, and I think an Inzap or something else. So they've been kind of sticking to their weapons for the entirety that we've seen them on the stream. So I don't think we're going to see any surprises out of them.
Yeah. But just a reminder right now, we do have we are currently 1-1, meaning that we will be seeing a Game 5 for sure in this best of 7 set that we will be seeing. So we will for sure be seeing at least from Splat Zone time back to Tactical Surgeon. I think that hopefully we could get into a Game 7. But either way, this isn't just going to be a 4-0. This is going to be interesting to see.
And the teams are ready. as we are going to be heading into a game 3. Once again, the set is tied 1 apiece. We've seen some great matches so far on stream, as we see 1 Booyah Bomb and no more. Booyah Bomb works out really well in this match. We do have some interesting changes here. First off, Q going on the Dynamo, that is the Armored Dynamo, and Dylan opting for the Klugies, the Kinsa Gloogies. With Armor and Fizzy Bomb over the traditional Gold Glugas that we've known Dylan for in the past.
Yeah, right now we see against Google, this is going to be interesting to see it, and especially we see Q over here with the Golden Dynamo, not the Kenta Dynamo that has Bomb on Humpback. No, we're going to be seeing a Golden Dynamo. This is going to be very interesting to see. Very interesting comps all around. Right now we see Bless trying to get a push up onto Bamboo instead of Paragon, but sadly that does not happen. That will not be happening today. But we see Blessin again pushing up a little on the right. We see 41 trying to get as much as possible with the Bamboo's range, pushing up until I believe that is the enemy street. This is going to be a good push on the side of Paragon.
Yeah, Booyah Bomb coming out here, and the Booyah Bomb basically by itself enough to kind of chase away enough players, and Cap Zone by itself, missiles kind of following up there, and Hard Eye's getting taken down by 41, who popped the missiles, but then takes them down with the actual bamboo weapon themselves, with the zone back into control of Friends. So far, a back and forth minute and a half, and I believe that is the enemy side of the map that we see Paragon pushed up to, but the other 2 players go down. That's going to force, at least Dylan's going to go back, and Hard Eyes takes care of 41, so this is going to be a lockout situation for Friends. And now the question kind of becomes, how do you break out of this? You got double armor for Paragon, you do got a Booyah to work with, and missiles, and 2 players come down, and all the specials coming out right at the same time, takes down 3 players. And there's not much 4v1 versus the Inkjet. That was just kind of a desperate Inkjet hoping something will happen here. A nice trade. So the game kind of stalled out at this point. His teams are just having a lot of difficulty holding on to the zone. Neither team is really holding on to the zone for any significant stretch of time so far.
Yeah, right now we see Paragon get on a 57 progress right now. It's 57 more to knockout, but we see right now they cap zone once again. Bless falling down from a inkjet camp. We see that right now Paragon takes the lead. This is going to be a very well done push for Paragon, as hopefully they get a bit more progress. But it's Friends. It's Paragon. This is going to be a knockout. Maybe it won't be knockout.
Well, with 1 player going down, armor coming out here, make that 2. This could look like it's going to be a knockout situation. Blessed Legend makes a legendary play, and they do not. A little bit of a controller malfunction there by Mob, who accidentally stubbed their toe in the ground there, and just kind of had to shake it off to get back up. But Paragon getting the win by KO, finally holding on to the zone. Dylan leading the way with 9 KA. Chat, can you tell me, is it Klugies or Glorios? Which one do you prefer? Personally, I like Klugies, Kinsa Gloogies more. But it's not often you see that kind of weapon being played in a grand finals of anything.
I mean, currently, I personally hey, Googles, but any works, It's Galugas, or quote unquote Galugas. Who knows what it's pronounced?
Cloggers.
We
can go with that. Either way, Clam Blitz, Piranha Pit. Hey, we saw Paragon kick some serious booty on Clam Blitz Piranha Pits in the last sets, if you recall, getting a 0 to 100 push extremely quickly, capitalizing on the failed push by the team they were playing against here. But now they got a 2-1 lead and a map and mode that favors them extremely well. We're gonna have to see how Friends can respond here.
I'm interested to see if they're gonna pull out a Ray or not, because even though it's Clam Blitz, it's gonna go along with it. I personally recently played with a Stingray weapon on this, and that was pretty cool. So who knows? Maybe we'll see it. Maybe we will. Maybe we won't. It's Ray. Who knows? People love running Ray, so that's going to be interesting to see. But right now, we see a Bamboo on the side of Paragon, as we've seen for the past few games. We see Maw pulling out the L3. Nothing changing too much on the side of Paragon, honestly. And then we see a C-Jet on the side of Friends. This is going to be interesting, as we do see Ray being popped very quickly in the first 15 seconds of the game. That's just going to show what's going to happen for the rest of the game, isn't it? Two down on the side of both teams is going to be what's going to happen.
Yeah, 10-second Ray, and actually another one's getting online here. Not a surprise. I mean, we're kind of used to seeing fast Rays out of C-Jet. But yeah, like you were saying, Stingray works out really well for this map. It's not often you use Stingray for Clam Blitz, but on a map like this where you can just fire that sucker right down the middle of the map, as we see them do right now, it basically gives the entire mid, the spine of the map to your team. And luckily for Paragon, they do have missiles from the Bamboo that they can use to kind of discombobulate that Stingray a little bit when it gets fired. But the key to Friends here is going to be firing Stingray early and often, and that's going to be difficult to do as two players immediately go down. Legend doing a good job of staying alive, building a clam themselves, installing enough to get their team back into action here, building up for armor as well. So what could have been an opportunity to get a push going from Paragon has been at least stopped for now by Legend, as yet another Stingray comes out.
Yeah, this is right now we're seeing 1 down, 2 down on the side of Paragon, in fact. 3 down, make that this is going to be a good pushing opportunity for Friends, but hopefully they get enough plans so where we don't just see 80 going in. But right now we see Legends falling down to Dylan, actually. If you're outside of Friends, never mind. This is they're gonna have to be backing up right now.
Yeah, we haven't really seen, we've seen some opportunities for teams to get something going. Nobody's just been able to kind of successfully pull the trigger. Yet another Stingray coming out here that opens up mid, but so far, okay, they might be able to capitalize off of that. 2 players going down. They do have a lot of clams ready here. Building up some specials. Do have Inkjet to work with. It's just, can they knock this Bamboo of 41 out of the way? They don't feel safe going in there until that Bamboo goes down or somebody else. And then while they're waiting for that to happen, players just kind of swarm in and start pushing them back. Look at this map slowly turning back to yellow. And yet again, we just start the process over again. Fire Stingray, try to get something going, and just nothing is really getting accomplished here. Okay, you have to score off of this. Okay, it's a wipe. Yeah, they're definitely going to score here. So 40 points remaining immediately, and probably a whole lot more on top of that.
Poor Paragon. They just they got to wipe 3 down. That's sad. But yeah, we see right now we see 41 trying to get what they can. But right now we see Friends getting as many claims as possible in, but it looks like Bless is backing out now, which they should. But yeah, that's a very, very strong push for Friends, which it's 4 minutes in. This is going to be a little hard for Paragon to come back, but it's very much possible from what we've seen in past sets.
Yes, if you recall the last time we saw Paragon on this map in mode with this same weapons they're using right now, they were able to get 100 points in a single push, and they do have an opportunity to do at least some damage right now. Billy dancing around in that purple ink, basically squid hopping through that purple ink to throw all their clams in. They get to 59 remaining. But the question now is going to be, can they keep this on going a little bit longer? They do find a way to reset the timer all the way back to 0, but Hard Eye's getting a key triple there. Dylan being the last player left alive, there's no way they're going to be able to get more points in. But if you're Paragon, you got to feel good about that push. You've got a lot of points on the board. You don't have a whole heck of a lot of penalty points in your way of adding to it, and you do come back in and immediately get a double. But Hard Eyes basically lighting up Paragon right now, and with an Inkjet coming out here once again, they need to find a way to take down this Nautilus before they just completely light up the scoreboard with what they're doing.
Yeah, right now we see 41 in fact with 2 splats. This is hopefully a good opening a good opening for push. We see the legs 30 people down right now. This is gonna be a good push. This may even be lead 3 down. They just need to clam to get them in, and not possibly.
They got all the clams they need. They got the lead. They're gonna get the KO right there. Look at that! What a response by Paragon, and now what looked like a sure-handed 2-2 set is now starting to get a little bit, well, it's beyond desperate. One more win will put Paragon over the top and give them the trophy for the whole tournament, and they did it basically by playing better for 1 whole minute at the end there, going 0 from 100 in a course of 2 pushes to get the KO like we saw. And we said it. We said, even though they got 93 points in 1 push, Paragon is definitely capable of coming back and getting that win right there, as they showed exactly that, getting a huge win. And now if you're Friends, the question becomes, what adjustment do we make here? Are they going to try to change something up? Are we going to see some new weapons coming out here? Are they going to sub in a player that they have available to sub in, or are they just going to try to ride it out? Because they know what Paragon's going to do. Like, we can already predict what their comp is going to be. They're not trying to hide it. They're basically saying, we're going to do this, try to stop us. And so far, Friends has been really struggling to try to stop it consistently.
Yeah, I mean, if I'm being honest, right, I was just looking like Piranha Clamless. That's their map. I mean, we saw them go from 0 or 100 to 0 in a matter of probably about a minute in the last set. And then in this set, we see them come back in 2 pushes whenever the opposite team got down to, I believe, 7 in 1 push. So Paragon right now, they're looking good to see. They're looking really good right now, but Friends may just be like, you know what, we're at risk right now. You know, like this is what's gonna depend on us making at least a game 7. This is, or at least a game 6. But yeah, this is a very important game for Friends and for Paragon.
Yeah, if you're Friends, obviously you're gonna have to be thinking this map and mode. Let's just take this 1 game at a time, as no surprises coming out. Honestly, from either team, Legend switching over to the Neo Splash-O-Matic Q, going back to the Splatter Scope Charger. I guess the only thing here to kind of note is maybe some nightmares of Paragon, how this game map and mode ended for them last time, barely losing in the final frame of the game to Team Sus here, as we see Friends getting the better opening right here. Dylan going down, Hard Eyes trying to find a way. They do take down Mob. There's one player up in that snipe who the Hard Eyes is aware of. It is moving to make them uncomfortable. One more player jumping out. That player in the snipe, Billy, that is, able to get a nice fall-off kill with the N-Zap. And that should do enough to solve this push. Q not aware. I don't think the callouts came in just in time. There was a flanking N-Zap from mid. And another awkward 1v1 right here that Billy's opting to back away from, holding on to the Ray and getting this push going the right way, as the Friends groups are starting to retreat a little bit back to their pit. But a nice defense there by Paragon earlier in that push, and now they got lead themselves.
Yeah, this is that was a good attempt for an opening push for Paragon. I mean, we saw them take lead, but not by that much. This is kind of anyone's game right now. You know, if you can take it or not. Friends, you know, but they're trying as much as possible. This is a game that depends if they will keep on playing in this set. But yeah, right now we see 41 just behind the wall trying to take down whoever they can. They do cancel Hard Eyes Jet though, so that's going to be pretty important for Paragon whenever if Friends tries to come back and get a new push in.
Yeah, there was a nice kill of Hard Eyes' Inkjet. However, the purpose of that Inkjet was just to keep pressure away from that tower long enough for them to clear that checkpoint. Friends was in a 3v4 situation, so the Nautilus player of Hard Eyes getting up there, doing just enough to be like the shiny object to take the attention away from the tower, gave them that checkpoint. And tower control is a game of checkpoints. So clearing that first one and now being in a situation to where they have two player down on the side of Paragon and a couple of players jumping back. So another opportunity for Friends to get control of tower and try to get to that second checkpoint, as we see one player trying to push up. Hard Eye's going down. Legend is not going to be able to climb the window as Mob denies it. And now the Stingray is going to be online and ready to kind of slow down this push to this first checkpoint for Paragon. And they're really going to need it if they want to hold on to it. It's getting fired right now, but Mob, aka Nico, doing a good job popping this Inkjet, but getting taken down. Make that 3 players going down. They will not clear this checkpoint as 41 kind of caught in an awkward position on the grates. Q starting to push up here, and the checkpoint is saved, and that is huge, huge for Friends.
Yeah, this is looking very well and Friends' favor right now, meaning that this could be, hopefully keeps them in. But yeah, you see right now, Friends is pushing in. They may not be focusing on tower right now, but they're just trying to keep Paragon out from getting the tower, getting tower away from lead, getting more progress as they're doing it. But it sadly looks like that Friends only has Q alive right now.
And that's all you need. Again, this is what they did literally last push. Just get Stingray, jump out. Firing Stingray extremely early, though, trying to take down that bamboo, and they do kill them. But this tower, will it get to this checkpoint? It will, and now they're not going to have a Stingray to work with. I wonder, they basically sold out to take care of that bamboo, and they do find a way to follow up with some other specials outside of the Stingray, but Dylan kind of dancing on the tower with the ball, and it's going to be enough to get him past that checkpoint. And 2 players go down for the side of Friends. This could be lead right here for Paragon, as the Q is the last player left alive. That is going to be lead as they continue the march to the second checkpoint. Q doing a good job of picking off players as they come up, but it's not enough to stop the tower completely. Q having to jump out right now, and 2 more players going down as the Inkjet coming out. What a push we are seeing here from Paragon, and it could be a championship winning push.
Right now, we just see Friends getting we just can see Friends getting picked off left and right. They would see Paragon getting picked off left and right. This is a very crazy push that we're seeing right now. But we see 2 down on the side of Paragon. Looks like that might be the end of Paragon's push right now. But we're only approaching a few seconds left. Right now, Friends need to get themselves together, or that may just be game for the tournament. But right now we're getting into overtime right now. We see Array coming out, I believe, and then we see Armor popping out. This is Friends right now, they're doing as much possible as they can to make sure that they at least, get to the lead.
And 3 players go down. The bamboo is the last player left alive, and they get the wipe. That is going to be lead, and Hard Eyes knows it with a little pop-up on the towers, keeps their tournament hopes alive, and Paragon falls apart in the final seconds, and Friends lets them know it. Keeping this set going 3-2 as we are going to a game 6. I don't think any of us saw coming with how that game was ending there. Q was 17 KA with the charger there. What a final push and a final wipe by Friends.
This is crazy. Oh my god.
Oh, and you know what? That's the second time for Paragon on that map and mode. Second time.
Oh, this is I need a second. Oh my gosh. I mean, I bet everyone needs a second after that. Like, we see like, oh my gosh, Paragon, they're gonna be trying as best as possible. Friends, this is the thing that depends if they're gonna be able to be gone in the tournament in the next few games. But then we just see okay, wipe on the side of Friends, okay, wipe on the side of Paragon. Oh, this is crazy.
And now we are going to a game 6, Rainmaker at Snapper Canal, and I guarantee you, both teams are going to be coming out. They're going to play a little bit timid, which is what we've seen last time we saw them play Rainmaker. But if from our perspective, if you want to win this game, we want to see some flanks coming out beginning. We want to see somebody throw punches instead of kind of sit back and wait for the other team to throw the punch. If you're Paragon, you're the one currently up in the set, so you have the you have the capability to play a little bit more loose in this game 6, knowing that if you lose, you're going to go back to splat zones. On game 7, you won the splat zone game earlier in the set, and if you're friends, you're thinking, we won the Rainmaker game earlier in this set. But still, the advantage here is still Paragon, just because they have the liberty to play a little bit more loose in this game, when we've traditionally seen these teams regularly in this tournament, or like in this set and the last set, play a little bit more passive on Rainmaker.
Yeah, this is we're loading into our match right now, but it's Snapper Canal. This is a very iffy map for a lot of people. We're loading to the game right now. This is gonna be a very exciting game 6 we're gonna be seeing. We see a pretty relevant combat in the side of Paragon, and then I believe friends switch in Bless for a junior with some armor fan. Then we see Legend pulling out his good old Splash. This is gonna be an interesting game that we're gonna be seeing.
Yeah, and you see both teams kind of opting not to go for the pop, which makes sense. Getting the pop in the beginning of the map here doesn't really do a whole heck of a lot for you. Doesn't really paint mid as Legend. Oh my goodness! Look at the emotion going on in this set. Friends, did I say Paragon was allowed to play a little bit more loose? Maybe Friends is the team that's feeling a little bit confident after how that last game ended there. Getting the pick, getting the pop, the split back, and now the push going as Dylan goes down yet again. Make that 2 players. This could be a KO push. 41 being chased back by the Inkjet, doing a good job of creating space. They're trying to find a way to push up there, and they do take down the Rainmaker, not before they get 34 points remaining, and this push isn't even done yet.
Oh my god, Legend right now. They take down Dylan once again. This is gonna be they take down this. Oh, that's a why. Oh, right now, this is looking very well for Friends. We see right now 9-8, 2 down. This is what's happening? What's even happening anymore?
Well, Legend's starting to back out now, as it looks like Paragon has finally gotten control of the situation at hand, and it looks like they will find a way to let the Rainmaker reset. Dylan kind of shortcutting up with their snipe there, but damage done. 8 points remaining. That's not impossible to come back from, and we've already seen Paragon come back from worse deficits in this very set. But here you go, once again, Rainmaker. This is just how the last game happened that they played Rainmaker in. They got a lead they felt comfortable with, and Paragon just had a lot of difficulties pushing up. We see Dylan trying to create a play, realizing there's nothing there, is jumping right back out, waiting for teammates to come back in. But if you're Friends, the question is, and yeah, they're picking up Rainmaker again. They're not just going to sit back and turtle up and try to just hold on to this one with the Stingrays that they have. They're trying to keep the pressure up, and they're going for the KO.
Yeah, I mean, right now, if I were Friends, I'm just like, I don't even really care if, just trying to keep it far away. Just like, getting knockouts very important at this point. That's a guaranteed game 7 if you knock it out right there. But right now we see 41 just trying to keep Friends out of their base. I mean, as they should, just to be safe. Yeah, right now we see 41 popping out a missiles. We see a Legend popping out the suction launcher. This may be a Friends opportunity to get in once again, or not, because Sudan is on the side of Friends right now. This is hopefully Paragon can get some progress over here, but sadly not, as Q takes down Billy with the Rainmaker.
Looks like Q shot them directly in the foot, and that was enough to get the kill there. And Stingray coming out, trying to chase out 41, who's over at the hill area, actually gets the kill there and is going to help out his teammates that are in a 2v1 situation against the Inkjet. And the Inkjet somehow survives over there before Q finally shuts it down. But if we look at the game as a whole here, it's kind of stalled out. It's kind of neutral right now, and this is exactly what Friends wants. As long as nothing is really happening, the clock is just bleeding out, and we're getting closer and closer to the end of that 5-minute mark. Here's the first legit push opportunity from Paragon, and there are 2 players down. Make that 3, and they're not going to have a Stingray to work with here. They do have a long way to go. They can't just get up there. They need to get up there and round the corner deeply, and they don't do that. But can they keep this push going is the question. Legend's going to camp out this Inkjet, kill it before they land, and Friends does pick it up, and it looks like they dunk it over the side, so they do reset it. Dylan trying to push up there. Once again, trying to create plays. You like the fact that they're still trying to create plays. They're not just sitting back and waiting for something to happen. But so far, Friends is bending, but they're not breaking.
Yeah, right now, you know, just like you see Bless popping out the armor. We're approaching only 30 seconds left. Friends may even take the win for this game, but we see right now that they're just, you know, they're holding everything in. You know, they're wanting a game 7 to happen right now. We see 20 seconds left. Paragon right now with the Rainmaker. Bless falling down to Billy. 3 down on the side of Friends. This is a good pushing opportunity for Paragon. We're going to be seeing in the next few seconds.
Yeah, all the players are back for Friends, but this is a little bit of a scary situation, and they do take down the Rainmaker, and I don't think they're going to have enough time to pick it up, pop it, and pick it right back up. So Friends, with the opening Haymaker on Rainmaker, lands the blow, ties the set up, and once again, we all thought we'd be going to bed right now, cuddling up and reading a nice little bedtime story. No, this set is still going, and we are going to a decisive Game 7 with Team Friends having all the momentum in the world right now at their back.
You know, right now this is this set. We're going into a Game 7. Zones Anchovy. What's even gonna happen? Like I don't even know what's gonna happen. Like I know for sure that we're most likely going to be saying, let me splash again, but at the same time, you know, pretty tense all over. We don't know what's going to be happening at all.
Well, that's our job as commentators to kind of explain what's going to be. I'll tell you this right now. If you're Paragon, do you change something with your comp? Well, we've seen them use basically the same couple of comps this whole time as I'm being... Okay, I see you, Ducky. We've seen them use the same kind of weapons this entire time. Do they try to switch something up now, or are they just going to say, you know what, we're gonna dance with the girl that we brought here and just try to ride it out here and right the ship here, being down, losing the last 2 games in the fashion that they did, but honestly, how that Game 6 kind of worked out here, it looked like Paragon was a little frazzled with how Game 5 ended. And I wonder if they're just going to take this time before Game 7 to kind of collect themselves, kind of breathe, and kind of like, look, let's just focus in for this next 5 minutes. We don't have to be the best team over the course of everything right now. We just have to be better for this 5-minute set. But right now, what a hell of a set we've been seeing. One of the most dramatic grand finals we've seen in SOS. So chat, get ready for a very rare, very exciting Game 7 that is going to be on Splat Zones at Anchovy Games here.
Yeah, you know, this Game 7, I mean, Paragon right now, they were feeling pretty confident earlier in the set, but then all of a sudden, Friends is like, we're done slacking off. We're taking the set. So right now, we're at 3-3. This is going to be a crazy Game 7. It's going to be tense on Paragon, on Friends, on everyone's side. We're going to even feel the tension between the 2 people, okay? Like, it's going to be crazy.
And what's going on here? Like, there has to be something changing behind the scenes. Either a sub coming in. We don't have, like, a visual of the actual lobby, so I don't really know what's going on outside of things here. Actually, what? The game's been going on? Okay, so here we are. We've actually been missing the game. That makes sense. It looks like we got a lead for Paragon that is currently being shifted into control of Friends here, who's struggling to hold on to the zone, and it does go back into the favor of Paragon as we quickly look at the comps. It looks like they did switch up something. Dylan going with the Kinsa Gloogies, or the Oreo Gloogas, whatever you want to call them. But apologize that for missing the first few minutes of the game, but we are now officially 3 minutes remaining, and it looks like the lead is in favor of Paragon. However, Friends, with a wipe and trying to push the players back, are trying to recapture lead themselves.
Yeah, I mean, right now, we see Friends right now just trying to get back to their lead and hopefully try and take back the set. But yeah, right now we see Dylan just bringing out that thing that most of the busy weapons are known for. there's good old business spam. We see right now, they're just trying to stay alive, but Paladin did not. That's a delayed wipe on the side of the Paragon. Hardeyes is just like, no, we're not taking this back. This is probably going to be the game that we're seeing here. There's only a few seconds left. 7, 6, 5. This is crazy. Left is high, we see, and that's a knockout, meaning that Friends will be the your SOS 18 champs for this week.
An improbable comeback by Friends. Once again, they were dead. They were left for dead in Game 5. This tournament was over. Paragon had this one won, and then just out of nowhere, the wipe comes, and Friends doesn't stop from there, puts their foot down in Game 6, puts their foot down in Game 7, and wins 3 straight. Not a complete bracket or reverse sweep, but still, what a performance by Friends to bounce back when honestly they had really no business to bounce back from that, and a very nice win for them. Obviously a nice second place finish for Paragon, not the result they wanted, but credit where credit is due. Friends just flat out took that tournament from them.
Yeah, oh my god. Friends just, taking back what was theirs, just taking back that grand finals. I mean, it isn't a fully reverse sweep. I mean, you could call it I guess like quarter of a reverse sweep, because they got to win, I believe, Game 2. So it's not fully a game reverse sweep, but it's close enough. We saw Paragon bringing out 3 wins. I believe it was 1-3 at one point, and then we just see Friends like, you're not taking that fourth. You're not going to be winning 4 games in this set, and then they just boom. They take the set, meaning that they take grand finals, meaning that, which again they take SOS 18.
A very nice win, very clutch win, one of the most clutch wins we have ever seen in an SOS tournament. Hats off to Friends there for getting the win. Once again, congratulations to Paragon. Obviously not the second place finish they want, but the second place finish they get nonetheless. And Sus, your bronze medal champion from the Great White Bracket, 3-0ing some AU pickup team. Before we sign off here and send you kiddies to bed, we got a little bit of promos to give you guys, to read out for you guys. First off, the Splatoon Amateur Circuit Season 3 event number 3 is coming up at 1 p.m. Eastern Time this upcoming Saturday. That is 10 p.m. or 10 a.m. Pacific Time, Saturday, February the 13th. SAC is a series of tournaments for teams Div 3 and below. What the heck is Div 3 right now? I have no idea. Your guess is as good as mine. The higher you rank in each tournament, the more points you get in the top 8 teams with the highest amount of points from all of the tournaments play in finals, competing for a prize pool of over $150. This is the last event before the All-Star Game, so come compete. Sign-ups are open here. I guess I'm supposed to put this in chat. Let me do that real quick. While I'm doing that, Band-Aid Kid, do you see that document that I'm reading off of, or should I just keep going here?
No, I got this.
Go ahead.
Just if you could give me a second, hopefully. Okay. Here we go. I'm frantically trying to find this real quick. If you give me a second. Okay. We have In the Zone 23 coming up on February the 21st. In the Zone is Cindy's double elimination tournament, once again, on Sunday, February 21st. The only game mode is going to be Splat Zones. So go ahead and enter if you've got a knack for it. Join Cindy's Discord server for more information. I will be pasting that in chat right now. Yep.
And one more thing. Hey, we got a lot of tournaments going on here for a dead community, I got to say. The second midpoint tournament is the midpoint. Wait, there's 2 midpoint tournaments here that we're going to announce. First off, Midpoint Plus Cup is on Valentine's Day at 6 p.m. UTC with a 333 prize pool. There will be a gold and silver bracket with the top 8 of gold, and top 3 of silver get suggested into midpoint, a team ladder scrim hub. The top 3 teams in the gold bracket will get right into midpoint. The second midpoint tournament is the Midpoint Draft Cup 5.0 on February 28th at 6 p.m. UTC. The format is groups into double elimination. Oh, Lord, that's going to take forever. Where the top 3 teams get conducted into midpoint, and the top 8 get suggested. Sign-ups as an individual player and enter a midpoint player, or the midpoint staff will sort you into a team. This is a great way to meet other players and teams that haven't spoken before. Join the Discord server for more information. My goodness, that is a lot of tournaments we got going on here. Let's start signing off of this sucker. Band Kid, where can people find you?
People can find me over on Twitter at @double_bandkid. That's really it. Just remember 2 underscores, no spaces, or anything like that. Obviously, Twitter. And then just bandkid. As you can see on screen right now, just all lowercase.
And you can find me on Twitter at Mr_Popgun. If you are, if you're not going to have your homework done in time because you stayed up all night watching this, feel free to tweet at me. I will send you a personal exemption letter that you can give to your teachers tomorrow, so that you can be exempt from all the homework you didn't do by supporting the Splatoon community today. And with that, from all of us here at IPL Inkling Performance Labs, Yucky Ducky Kids on the behind the scenes today, our producer, the head TOs, Grace and Sky. We thank you for participating / watching this tournament. We will see you again next week for SOS. What are we on now? 19. 20. We'll see you another tournament next week. Thank you for watching, guys. You've been watching SOS 18 on IPL.